So, fun story about when we watched this movie back in our original marathon with the house. We were like, we gotta have something good for our 100th DCOM. Let's make it Phineas and Ferb. That's bound to be good.
We knew that once, like, the bar level of quality is gotta
Yeah,
be high enough for that.
right. Especially because a lot of the last ones we had were just gonna be bad. So
Okay.
they're like, we'll say Phineas and Ferb, and it'll be our like 100th DCOM. It'll be this big thing, and like we scheduled it with our whole house that we're gonna watch it that evening. And during the day, there was a few of us in the living room, and we're like, maybe we should recount just in case this isn't 100. And we recounted, and we only had watched 98. So we were
Good
like,
recount.
yeah, we're like, oh shit. Okay, we are watching Phineas and Ferb in like within 2 hours. So like, what can we watch? What's the shortest decom we have left? And it was Gotta Kick It Up. So we like quickly watched Gotta Kick It Up
Okay.
so that we could officially say that Phineas and Ferb was our 100th decom.
I love that.
It was very lucky that we were able to catch that in time, but also, what didn't even actually matter
It
is
didn't, but like it did.
No,
it
but
did.
mentally you would have
Mentally, it would
Yeah.
have been a lot of damage. We're like, oh, the 100th one is actually Scream Team or whatever it would have been.
Yeah.
Scream Team was actually our last one,
That
I
was
don't
our
know.
last one.
And that one kind of blew.
Yeah. So we're so we're like, let's recap. You know why? We had the fake decom on our wall.
Yeah. We've
Papa's
told you
best
the
sauce.
story about
Yeah.
Papa's best
Oh,
sauce.
Papa's,
Yeah,
yeah.
Papa's
Yes.
best sauce. We had it on the wall, so that we counted that. I think that's why we thought we were at 99, and we weren't because that one was fake.
I think that would make it even better if, your 99th was Phineas and Ferb and you knew it was because of Papa's best sauce.
Well, Papa counts, right?
Yeah, Papa should count. It's a decom to me.
Welcome everybody to the Decom Duo podcast.
She just moved the microphone.
You want me to take that again?
Can you hear her doing that?
I love this.
Gee.
She rarely does that.
Yes. Are my notes that interesting?
She likes thing on table. It is one of her favorite pastimes.
It's just thing on table.
Yeah.
Lay on thing on table.
Welcome everybody to the Decom Duo podcast.
I'm BenG.
I'm Kelsey.
And we're the Decom duo.
Podcast plus a guest.
Oh my god, there's a guest here.
It's Tate.
Hello, I am Tate, Phineas and Ferb fanatic, so I am very excited to be talking about Phineas and Ferb today.
Yeah, we brought in our Phineas and Ferb expert
We
to
had to.
give us all the deets for anything that we would potentially be missing to cover. Welcome to the podcast, Tate.
Awesome, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah. thanks for coming.
Any outside of Phineas and Ferb, any connections to DCOMs, any Disney Channel original movie histories in your upbringing or adulthood?
No crazy ones. I've been watching a few more Pixar movies than I used to. I didn't watch too many growing up. I didn't grow up watching Tangled or anything like that. It was a bit of a surprise, but nothing crazy with the Disney Channel movies. After rewatching Phineas and Ferb, I may need to give a few of them a shot. I've got some good advice on some interesting ones to watch now, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Heck
Well, I
yeah.
mean, you're picking a good one to watch. Not to bury the lead on this, but this is a highly ranked one for both Kelsey and myself.
I mean, Phineas and Ferb is just good.
The
Like,
truth is, the show's like a fantastic, great show, and more so than any other really show-based movie, this just feels like an extended episode of a show.
mhm.
Like, it feels maybe slightly more grand, but it also, Phineas and Ferb is so formulaic in what its setup is. It's so birthed on this reset cycle where
Mhm.
everything's going to end in the same way as it was beforehand,
Yeah,
and there's not really character development other than Candace and Perry,
Yeah,
and
basically.
Duke. There's nothing there, and so it's got to still reset the cycle at the end, and it does here. It just does it in a different way.
yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you were around that much when we were doing the marathon in college. Like, you were kind of an honorary roommate. You were in our group chat.
You
I
paid,
think I still am actually.
yeah. I think you paid rent one time. You paid $1.
That tracks actually. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if you were around for any decom
we
watching.
probably watched one or two of them, but I couldn't tell you which ones.
Yeah, it was a long time ago now.
That's crazy how long ago that's been.
I know.
Feels, yeah, weird. It's been 6 years.
I mean, we've been doing the podcast for like 3 or 4 years.
That it always feels to me like we just started doing this podcast
I
and
know.
we're on our 4th year of it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because we watched all 4 Halloween Town movies, and we'd always do that for Halloween. So that's kind of how I keep track.
Yeah.
So
Year 3. We're like halfway through year 3.
No, year 4.
Yeah, no shit, we just do
Because
Return to...
we did the 4th Halloween Town movie.
Is there a fifth one?
No.
No.
So what are we doing this Halloween? I don't know.
There's enough Halloween movies we can make it happen.
Maybe Twitches? I don't know.
We'll figure something
We'll figure it out. But yeah. So I don't think we have fan mails. We haven't even posted our last episode yet. We're recording this ahead of time, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
We haven't heard anyone talk about Get a Clue, the Lindsay Lohan spy thriller.
What?
yeah, that's what we watched last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago, technically.
Yeah, so no new comments on that, but if you want to message us, you can email us at the dcomduo@gmail.com, comment on our YouTube. Other ways, you can figure it out. I
Yeah.
believe in you. You're a smart person, and you deserve happiness.
Yeah.
And then with that, I guess we just go into the factos.
Yeah,
don't we?
this is the most factors you've ever written, right?
It's definitely up there, and it's because I wrote these before watching the movie, and with how much this blends with the show, I'm like, I don't remember how much each side character matters in this movie. So anyone that could actually matter, I'm going to put down as long as they have interesting casts
Mhm.
Okay.
in there. And there's just Phineas and Ferb has a lot of characters.
Yeah.
It's a voice acted comedy where it's a very heavy dialogue, fast dialogue type
Mhm.
movie as well, type show. So there's
Yeah.
a lot going on. So a lot to talk about.
Yeah. By the way, the movie officially is Phineas and Ferb, the movie Across the Second Dimension.
Yes. Yeah.
Just to put the full
Yeah.
title out there.
Yes, Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Across the Second Dimension. This is different, of course, than Phineas and Ferb, the movie, Candace Against the Universe.
Yeah.
And also, this is different than the movie that's coming out later in 2026,
Hmm.
which we don't know if that's a Disney Channel original movie or not.
Yeah.
You haven't given that much coverage on that. And it's also different than the film that they were thinking about making a theatrical film that never actually came to be.
That's interesting. So they don't count their like 3-episode mega episodes that turn
No.
into a movie, essentially.
Yeah,
Those
no.
don't count.
This is the only one that counts as a Disney Channel original movie. It's the only one with that branding and that advertising around it.
Mm.
So, yeah. This film released August 5th, 2011,
Wow.
appropriately in the summer. It's always kind of weird when new Phineas and Ferb content comes out and it's not in the summer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
such as all the stuff that just came out. Season 5 just came like 20 episodes out.
Yeah. I mean, didn't it start at the end of
I think it started at summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they bled it out because it was like 1 episode a week or
Yeah.
something like that. So it
Yeah.
was well into the winter when they were
Oh,
coming
yeah.
out, which is crazy.
Yeah.
No, like we were talking, there's a very specific line in one of these songs that is very heavily referenced in the most recent episode of Phineas and Ferb.
It blew our minds, and we'll talk about it later.
This is the 85th DCOM overall. There are 2 directors to this film. One is Robert Hughes. He directed 69 episodes of the show. He included in getting 4 Primetime Emmy nods, which is, again, really cool for a children. I think it might be for like children's TV program. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's actually just for animated programming. But that's impressive for 4 Emmy nods for being Phineas and Ferb. He also did 35 episodes of Mile Murphy's Law, which is the spin-off / sister show of Phineas and Ferb. He was a producer on both shows. Other things that he directed for animated shows included Sinbad the Sailor and Billy and Mandy, among other things.
Oh, so there's crossover between Billy and Mandy and Phineas and
The
Ferb. That's
director,
crazy.
yes.
I never would have got that.
He's still doing a lot of animation works. He recently has done the show Crapopolis. He also worked on Big City Green's The Movie Space Station, which is the DCOM that came out last year.
Yeah.
So pretty cool in that. He's just, I think, the person that's directed the most episodes of Phineas and Ferb.
Cool.
So it makes sense for him to be on there. The other director is Dan Povenmire,
Of course.
who is one of the creators of the show alongside Jeff Swampy Marsh. So makes sense in there. He's also the voice of Doofenshmirtz, so like very big credit there. He also has directed 26 episodes. Basically the main person behind the show publicly.
Yeah.
He also, of course, created Mile Murphy's Law, and then also on the Disney Channel he created Hamster and Gretel. He previously worked on shows like Hey Arnold, The Simpsons, Rocko's Modern Life, SpongeBob. I found out he was the one that wrote the Campfire song from
What?
SpongeBob.
Yeah, he had a TikTok talking about how the part where Patrick is like trying to spell like CCM. See, yeah,
Yeah.
he was talking about how originally the line was just like letters, 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 but then who's the voice actor?
Bill Faberbach.
Yeah,
He's in multiple DCOMs, which is the only reason I know that.
he just started like trying to scream spell it. He's like, that's way funnier. Like, keep that.
Yeah. And then he also did Family Guy. He got an Annie nominee for directing an episode of that. So, among
Wild.
other shows, he's had pretty prolific animation career in there. For our cast, I have playing the titular role of Phineas Flynn, Vincent Martella. Realistically, he's just best known as being Phineas.
Yeah.
Some of these people is just like this is their biggest thing, and that's totally cool. It's been a big media franchise that you can collect on.
Yeah.
But he also was a part of the main cast of Everybody Hates Chris. He's also a voice actor in the Final Fantasy 13 series, as well as in the DC animated universe Batman films.
I'm pretty sure he was in like one episode of Walking Dead because this was around the time where I was really into Walking Dead. It was like season 3, and I would watch the after show, the like talk show,
Yeah.
and they like his character just like died, and he's like, "I'm the voice of Phineas." Phineas.
That's so funny.
That's him.
Did they call the after show the Talking Dead?
Yeah, it was the Talking Dead.
That's so
What a great name.
Yeah, I was really into it.
playing the role of Ferb Fletcher, who again I'm like, he has like 3 lines in the movie.
He does.
And then like his entire gimmick is Ferb has 1 line an episode, and this is basically 3 episode lengths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 full length episodes, I guess. It's Thomas Brody Sangster. He had notable roles in Love Actually and Nanny McPhee before the show, actually being major roles in both
He's
of those.
the main kid in Nanny McPhee.
Yeah.
He's in the Maze Runner too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
He's in the Maze Runner. He's in Game of Thrones. He was in the Queen's Gambit. Where he got an Emmy nomination for that. And after the show, which is post the movie, after the original show ended, like in 2016, I want to say the show ended, he got recast for Candace Against the Universe, and it's not a part of the show anymore in the most recent 5th season. I don't remember the exact name of the new person, but Ferb is not the same anymore.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
I guess he's doing just a good impression.
He's still actively working with Disney. He's working on the Disney Plus show of The Artful Dodger. He's the main role of that. So it's not like a lack of work within there. I just wonder if he's like, I don't want to be Ferb anymore. I don't want to go do my line reads.
To do like one line,
do promo on it.
Like it's not worth it.
Yeah. Interestingly, he got Drew Seeley for this, but that's maybe not that surprising because Ferb's singing voice in this film doesn't match his actual.
It never does. His singing voice always changes.
Yeah. It was Danny Jacob was the singing voice of Ferb here, who's the score composer for the show. He does all the score. Also did the score for Miles Murphy Law, and he actually wrote and produced music for things like Shrek, Lilo and Stitch the series, The Emperor's New Groove. The Emperor's New School. The show version. Kim Possible, I believe he wrote the theme song.
That's
Kim
crazy.
Possible.
That's
Sonny
awesome.
with a Chance, Hamster and Gretel, and Sophia the First.
Did he write the Sophia the First theme song?
I think so.
That one also slaps.
That is a lot of bangers.
Yeah, he kind of has a pretty good career as a musician there. Another person I'm like, do I need to write about this person? I decided, fuck it, I'm going to write about everyone. Playing the role of Perry the Platypus is D. Bradley Baker. Can you all give me your best Perry the Platypus impression? That's the only line that he does in the entire show, and he gets credited on every episode.
Yeah.
Pretty great career to have in there. He's a big voice actor who does a lot of stuff like that. He has had notable roles in Star Wars The Clone Wars, Adventure Time, American Dad, Avatar, SpongeBob, Gravity Falls, Ben 10, Steven Universe, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Halo, Overwatch, a lot of stuff.
That's really interesting.
He's just very commonly like a sound effect guy.
Yeah. So if anyone needs a platypus, you know where to go.
Yeah.
I wonder if they actually sound like that in real life.
I have no idea. Phineas and Ferb has definitely caused a lot of information on platypus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Platypi.
A lot of people?
A lot of people. As mentioned earlier, playing the role of Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz is Dan Povenmire. So, of course, he's the co-creator of the show and co-director of this movie. He actually was nominated for a Primetime Emmy for this voice role for the movie, which this is basically the only acting that he does. The only time he's ever acting is as Doofenshmirtz. And
Yeah.
it's not his normal voice. He does not sound like that.
Oh,
He's
no,
doing
not
a
at
voice.
all.
He does not sound like that. It's
Which-
crazy that he pulls that out,
Yeah,
actually.
it's very interesting. It's very interesting whenever he's singing in that voice because it never sounds good.
Yeah,
No.
it always
And
is
like
so
that's
weird.
that's the point, but I think this movie in particular also has a good amount of singing Doofenshmirtz.
Yes.
It does. And like I have a playlist on Spotify that's every DCOM song, and so I put in all
Okay.
of these songs from this movie.
Yeah.
And anytime the Doofenshmirtz one comes up, and it's not just one Doofenshmirtz, it's two Doofenshmirtz
Yes.
singing, I cannot listen to it. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. Like I can't do it.
Yeah, just the songs themselves without the visuals.
Yeah.
It's so weird just listening
Yeah.
to Doof specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
singing.
just like I can't.
No, we'll get into this later, but despite us both being musical fans and having a very high opinion on this movie, I think there's only one song in this movie I actively like.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like this movie just the music doesn't really do it for me. Other Phineas and Ferb stuff, I like the music.
It's
But
something, yeah, the show's a musical show. It makes sense for this to be a musical, but
yeah.
I feel like the songs here are more plot moving than
I
it is
agree.
anything that's like a banger.
Except for like the summer one just feels so random. But we'll talk about that when we get
Yeah.
there.
Playing the role of Candace Flynn is Ashley French, aka Ashley Tisdale. She recently changed her name. She of course was in High School Musical 1 through 3 and Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure.
So this is the last time.
This is the
We've
last time we're
seen
going to
her.
talk about her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sad.
She was Maddie on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She's
Mhm.
had a relatively successful music career. We've talked about her a lot. I don't need to go too deep into here, especially we went real deep into her for Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure.
Yeah. Y'all know who Ashley
Yeah.
Tisdale is. So.
It was in Scary Movie 5. She was the main role of that. She was in A Bug's Life. That's how she started her career. She recently had like a random amount of drama coming up of like Disney Channel stars.
Yeah,
What?
with
This
like
is-
Hilary Duff?
Hillary Duff and like Miley Cyrus, I think was it? No,
No.
Selena Gomez.
No.
It was someone else. There was another Disney Channel
Wasn't it
star. in
like Mandy Moore?
I think Vanessa Hudgens was also a part of
Really?
that.
I didn't think so.
There was like this mom group drama.
Yeah.
Where she got like kicked out of this mom group because people were annoyed with her.
Mm.
We are here saying the hell
Yeah.
out of this.
All I
Okay.
know, it was for sure Hilary Duff, and they were beefing about this mom group, and
And then
that's
like
basically all
Ashley
I know.
Tisdale aired all the laundry out like on an op-ed article that was published in the
Yeah.
newspaper.
And then Hilary Duff's husband like responded to it.
It's
That's like crazy beef.
and that
Yeah.
that was very recent.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, she very recently in November 2025 changed her name from Ashley Tisdale to Ashley French to match her husband's last name.
Which, sure, I mean, she's iconically known as Ashley Tisdale, like forever.
There's a reason I'm like actors don't change their names very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
But
But-
she's like she wants to be called by the same name that she is at home. So
That's fine.
yeah. I mean she can do her. Playing the role of Major Monogram is Jeff Swampy Marsh. He's the other co-creator of the show.
Mhm.
Again, I think it's very fun that the creators of the show are like, we're going to be the head adults of the evil and the good
And
organization.
they absolutely kill it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
They're so
Yeah.
good.
Not surprisingly, he's one of the executive producers of the movie. He has essentially no other acting credits to his name. Of course, he also co-created Milo Murphy's Law. He worked on anime shows like The Simpsons, Rocko's Modern Life, King of the Hill. He also co-created the shows Pete the Cat and Hey AJ, host
Oh,
the show. Hey AJ, I believe is a Disney Junior show
Oh,
going
okay.
on right now. Yeah. Playing the role of Carl is Tyler Alexander Mann, and this is basically his only role he's ever done and still doing. He did one episode of Weeds and one of Modern Family, and that's
Okay.
it.
That's crazy. He kills it as Carl.
he really does.
Yeah. Playing the role of Jeremy Johnson is Mitchell Musso.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big Disney Channel star. He was in Hannah Montana. He's in Pair of Kings, which was another Disney Channel show, and Prank Stars. Like, let all those. He's main roles in Hatching Pete and Life is Rough. Those are 2 DCOMs. He was the original voice of Aang in Avatar in its pilot, and then he got recast for that.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's DJ in Monster House.
Okay.
He had a small music career that didn't do much. Later in his career, especially like towards the end of his Disney Channel time, got into some issues with alcohol, and as recently in 2023, got taken like police custody due to issues with that. And that's part of the reason that he was recast in season 5. A different person is playing Jeremy in the most recent season.
That makes sense. I never actually expected Mitchell Musso to come back after all of his legal troubles. I'm like, no way he's still playing Jeremy,
he did
right?
in 2025 be in one episode of a show called The Rise. So he's doing something again with his career.
Yeah. But Disney's
saying no.
You gotta leave, fam. And Jeremy now, Jeremy does sound a little bit different now. I think. I do agree. I do notice now in the newest season, but it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really
Jeremy is one of those characters that's
if you recast him, it's not changing the soul.
No.
Yeah. Playing the role of Isabella Garcia Shapiro is Allison Stoner. She's in Camp Rock 1 and 2. That's probably her best known credits outside of this. Mm-hmm. She was a famous kid dancer. She was in a bunch of music videos for Missy Elliott, for instance. She was also all in the Step Up franchise. She was a co-host in Disney Channel's bumper show of Mike's Super Shorts show, which is just they would talk about other Disney things going on at the time, like how to buy the DVD to the movie that you're watching.
Yeah, just during the commercials.
Yeah. Okay. Because Disney Channel doesn't really have commercials. All of its commercials are just stuff promoting other Disney franchise stuff.
Well, and they would have toys and stuff.
Yeah, they would occasionally do it, but 70 to 80% of their commercials are promoting Disney parks, promoting
it's
Disney
keeping you in the
films.
Disney ecosystem with their commercials.
Disney Channel, at least for a lot of its existence, has been positioned in a way to try and get you to be a Disney person, reaching the kids to do that. She was in the Cheaper by the Dozen franchise, one of the kids there. She was in episodes of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Legend of Korra, and she was in the Kingdom Hearts franchise as a voice actress. Since we last discussed her in Camp Rock 1, which was a while ago.
A long time ago.
She had roles in Pete the Cat with Jeff Swampy March, as was his show there. Hamster and Gretel, Dan Povenmire's show, so still working with those two pretty well. And also The Loud House. And she wrote a memoir just last year, semi-well-adjusted despite literally everything, till I believe decent reviews. I heard some stuff about that.
Yeah, I feel like she's been pretty outspoken about just Child Star and how that sucked. So.
But I mean, she's still working with those creators, so I don't think it's the Phineas and Ferb side of it that's hurting her side. Yeah. Playing the role of the mom, Linda Flynn Fletcher, is Caroline Rhee, which we have talked about before in our very first episode of this podcast. She's the mom in Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that the first episode you did?
Yeah.
First episode we did. She was the main role. She was a main role in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She's not Sabrina, but
she's one of
the main cast there.
Aunts. Yeah.
She was also a main cast of the Disney sitcom Sydney to the Max. She's had multiple stand-up specials. She was a former host of The Biggest Loser game show.
Wow.
The first 3 seasons she hosted.
That's crazy.
She's very common celebrity game show panelist. She has dozens of credits on Match Game and Hollywood Square. That's kind of how she makes her money.
That's kind of crazy.
Since we last talked about her, she's gotten, among other things, a recurring role in the show Sheriff Country, which is one that Kelsey and I like to make fun of on our own time.
Because Fire Country.
Because Fire Country is something we would make fun of.
Yeah.
We watch Survivor live, so we see a lot of CBS show commercials for other CBS shows.
Yeah.
And Fire Country was one, and it always looks kind of stupid. And then they made a spin-off of the show called Sheriff Country.
So, yeah, we find it funny. I can't believe she's on it.
Oh. Playing the role of Lawrence Fletcher is Richard O'Brien. Crazy random pull here. He's the writer, the writer of the Rocky Horror Show. And then, of course, the Rocky Horror Picture Show on top of that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Very random, right?
And he voices the dad.
And he's also just the voice of the dad in Phineas and Ferb.
Whoa.
He doesn't have many lines in this movie. He's got maybe 3 lines.
Not much.
Yeah, barely any.
Again, I wrote this before remembering how many lines anyone has. I'm I don't think there's this, but also that's fascinating. It was the presenter of the British game show The Crystal Maze. He has acting credits in Flash Gordon and Spice World, among other things. But, yeah, definitely the most interesting thing is he's the writer of the Rocky Horror Show.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the role of Norm, as well as the Norm Bots, is John Veneer. He's been in 360 Family Guy episodes. Yeah, he's a variety of characters. He's basically the main guy they tap on to do just a random character one-off voice.
Okay.
In a lot of ways. He also is a writer on that show. He was an Annie nominee for his writing for Family Guy. Other credits of his include Ted, The Cleveland Show, and Duncanville. I think he's just a common Seth MacFarlane
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
Playing the role of Stacey Hirano is Kelly Hu. She has lots of credits over the last 4 decades. Stuff like X2, The Tournament, Arrow, Sunset Beach, Vampire Diaries, Young Justice, Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. Not specifically the DCOM that was before,
The
ever,
show.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, among other things. Still very active this day, but starting to speed up a little bit here. Playing the role of Baljeet Tejinder is Malik Pankali. He was in the kind of secondary main cast of 30 Rock. Like he's not one of the stars of 30 Rock, but he was a every episode kind of guy.
Okay.
He was also in Whitney, Sanjay and Craig, and Weeds. He also was in the films 27 Dresses, Horrible Bosses, and Hitch.
The heck?
He's
That's
still
a crazy range.
Yeah.
Still very active this day. In 2026, he joined the cast of Hey AJ, which was, of course, Jeff Swampy Marsh's show.
Yeah.
So, like, these actors are staying in that ecosystem a lot, which I always find interesting. Playing the role of Buford Van Storm is Bobby Gaylor. He's done very little other than play Buford in his career,
Yeah.
but he's a writer. He wrote on Phineas and Ferb, won an Emmy for his writing. He wrote for SpongeBob, Johnny Test, The Nightly Show with Larry Wilmore, among other things. And finally, playing the role of Irving Du Bois, which after watching this, he has literally one line in this movie. Jack McBrayer. He is in the main cast of 30 Rock. He's like the third biggest person in that.
Mhm.
He's also in Wreck-It Ralph as Fix-It Felix.
Mm.
He had voice acting roles recently on Amphibia, Puppy Dog Pals, Wander Over Yonder, and Big Mouth. A lot of other roles, feature moments. He's a decently big guy. He's done a lot in his career.
Yeah. And this movie, like, one line.
This movie, one line.
One line here, but just all over the place with everything else he's done. That's crazy.
I also like mentioning it there. We don't talk about everyone's performance in here. Everyone, I feel like, is giving a good performance. I don't need to talk too much about that. Especially voice acting is a different, much harder to grade in a lot of ways
Yes.
Yeah.
than the overall picture of like in-person acting.
Mhm.
But Irving's always been the most interesting character to me because it's like the one character I feel like you're not supposed to like.
He's kind of endearing, though.
Yeah.
But also he's just kind of like, what are you doing, boy?
Yeah, of all the Phineas and Ferb characters, I think Irving is.
Yeah. Here's the fun facts I have down for this movie. This officially takes place during the third season of the show. I didn't get an exact timing between what episodes. There's also a lot of questions on the Phineas and Ferb timeline because there may be a lot more days than they're letting on of summer vacation.
It does seem like that. There
Right.
are a
And
lot more days. A
so-
lot more episodes than days.
So canonically, it's the first 4 seasons is one summer, right? And then the 5th season now is a new summer.
Yes.
Okay. And this takes place in that first summer. Yeah.
Vanessa was going to be in the original film. She's in the original like cut of this, but everything with her was cut out. But in the credits, Olivia Olson, the actress for Vanessa, is still credited.
Okay.
I do think it's very interesting, especially with how important Vanessa kind of becomes in a bit to like the overall plot and like the Doofenshmirtz side of it all, with how important that is. That they just don't even name drop her once.
Yeah, that's crazy that she's not name dropped at all, and like she's such a great character that really balances out the show as you get later on. So it's very weird to kind of just cut Vanessa from the movie.
But there's also so
Yeah.
much going on that my guess is they're like, we don't want to deal with any of that
They didn't-
ramifications plot when we have enough going on here.
They
This
didn't
is
wanna
just like,
do-
we want to do the Perry plot development movie.
They didn't want to do a second dimension Vanessa and figure out what her role was in the other dimension, I guess, too.
Yeah.
With, like the Doofenshmirtz that's taken over the tri-state area. Like, what's Vanessa up to?
It probably just adds more complications than in entertainment.
Yeah, it's a packed movie as is. Like
Yeah.
there's so much going on. I don't know where they could have really put Vanessa in.
She just would have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slash appears in the final credits of this film, and that's because he personally reached out to the creators of the show, asking to be part of it because his kids are a fan of the show.
I learned that he helped write that song that he does at the very end of the
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. This movie released theatrically in Spain.
Okay.
I,
Okay.
very few DCOMs released theatrically, so I think that's funny. Spain was like, you know what? No, this is going to do numbers. We're going to put this out.
Was it like just Spain?
Just Spain is the only market that this released theatrically.
That's bizarre.
I already talked about the other movies, and there's another one on the way. There was a video game made specifically for this movie. There was for the PS3, the Wii, as well as the PSP and DS, all to average reviews. They also had an online Disney Channel game on like DisneyChannel.com.
Sure.
They're in season 4 of the show. There's an episode that is like a full 22-minute special. That's a follow-up directly to this movie.
Oh.
Talking about second dimension stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the soundtrack album for this film, which also featured several songs from the show, hit number 57 on the Billboard 200.
That's pretty good.
Other Disney Channel properties have done significantly better.
Well, that makes sense, because like being 57th to me is amazing, because none of the songs really stand out that much to me.
And I'm looking at the soundtrack, like they do include songs from the show. They're like, we're also going to throw in some of our biggest hits from the show just to like round it out, and that's probably what helped more.
That makes sense then, yeah, because none of the songs don't really stand out, but if you're adding in, regular Phineas and Ferb songs, I can see how that soundtrack puts up numbers.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear the Disney Plus description?
Yes.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb finally discover that Perry, their beloved pet platypus, is a real secret agent who battles the forces of evil every day. They join him on an adventure that blasts them to another dimension, where a truly evil Dr. Doofenshmirtz has taken over an alternate tri-state area. When they uncover his plot to travel back to their dimension and take over their own tri-state area, the gang and their alter egos must band together to stop him. Well, it's accurate. I feel like they don't talk about the fact that basically the entire plot is just Phineas being mad that Perry's not telling them the truth.
Yes.
It's pretty funny. I mean, they discover that, I think it's fine. They discover that he's an agent. It's kind of the main thing.
Well, let's remember, Perry puts in work. If like the first, 3 or 4 seasons is just one summer and this movie, Perry is on the clock stopping Doof so much.
Yeah.
Literally every day. Does he do it during the school year too?
He would have to. I don't think Doof stops on this.
Well, they do have a Christmas special, and they're doing stuff then.
Yeah.
True. And okay, wait, I'm trying to think what happened in between season 4 and 5. Wasn't the plot that they were just like on good terms or something, and then when summer started again, Doof's like, I'm evil again. Yeah.
I think that's
the opening song. They're just like, yeah, you know what? I've been good long enough.
Yeah, it's like, I was good for the school year. We're friends now, but now I'm going to be evil again. Because it's like canonical in the 5th season that they're like friends.
Yes.
But also still like battling each other a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, even in this movie, they can already see their relationship has softened in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, are we ready to jump into the movie?
I am ready to Phantom of the Megaplex, this movie.
Cool.
Jump in's the name of a DCOM. That's like a little running bit we do. It's not even funny, and I have to figure out a DCOM to say every time.
Okay.
All right. So we open up on some robots, and the boys are in chains, and there's like a giant gnome, and they don't really explain the gnome.
It's because gnomes are just the Phineas and Ferb franchise.
Yeah, it's Doof's backstory.
Yeah.
Not this
OG
Doof.
Doof.
But not
this Doof.
Yeah, that was fascinating to me because the gnomes show up everywhere in that movie.
Yeah.
But it's only original Doof who is terrified because, of course, he grew up and had to be a long gnome.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't go into anything like...
Why is there a giant gnome in this dimension? I don't know.
Like, the new alternate dimension Doof has no connection. They don't talk about gnomes at all.
The word gnome is not mentioned once in this film.
They just are there. There's a big scary monster in a cage, and it roars, and Phineas is like, I can't put a positive spin on this. Like, I don't know what to do. And Doofenshmirtz is also there, so we're like, what's happening? And he's like, and to think, everything started so well this morning, and we flash back to this morning.
It really pulls you in, like, that intro sequence really, like, I really got pulled in when I watched it.
Yeah, we're like, what is happening right now? So
because you also see Perry the Platypus walking with them in his agent form.
I don't know if you do yet.
No?
I don't think you do. I didn't write that down.
I thought it did, but
I didn't think they spoiled that yet. I think, like, I'm pretty sure all we saw was really just, like, Phineas and Ferb and then, like, Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
remember
maybe
Phineas and Ferb
Candace.
with Doof. I don't remember. I couldn't tell you if Perry was or was not in the
I
opening
don't think he was
sequence.
there because he, later thinking about it, he's in front of them. So it's
Mhm.
easy
Oh
to
yeah,
show behind them without, like, giving
Yeah, you're
away.
probably right.
Because I think they did want to hold on to, like, them knowing
that would be a
about
big
it.
thing to like learn about right at the
Yeah.
Yeah.
start and be confused as to why is that happening for like 40 minutes.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is, like, Doofenshmirtz is there with them. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
So, yeah. Okay. So earlier that day, we get our first song starting. Everything's better with Perry, and it's like boom, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. It's so groovy. This is the song
This
I
is the
like.
song that
this
I'm
was
like, this one's a banger.
this was
And
my favorite one as well.
with the platypus. And I like it when he goes, because he said my aquatic. And they're like, this is gonna be the best day ever. They like wake up with Perry and he's in their bed and they like jump on the bed with him and they're just like having the best song or the best time just hanging out with Perry and they're dancing and it like turns into this like little
I like that
groovy.
Phineas puts a shirt on and it spray paints his stripes on his shirt. So it's like he puts on a plain shirt every day, but it paints on his
Yeah.
stripes.
And Perry is also their alarm clock.
Yeah.
They wake up to Perry getting poked and then making his platypus noise, and that's how they all wake up to start their day.
They just love Perry so much. I did really like that. Like the core of this movie is just how much they love Perry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is a Perry movie. It's not, again, I've talked about this with, I think, both of you at one point, probably not on the podcast. The Phineas and Ferb show is not actually about Phineas and Ferb.
correct.
Yeah.
They are plot devices. They are not characters.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Maybe Phineas is a tiny bit of character in this one, but
Yeah.
even then, it's, the whole character development is either Candace, Doofenshmirtz, or Perry the Platypus. And this is very much, we're learning, it's a character study on Perry, basically, the entire movie.
Yeah, and it's just it was so cute because I feel like a lot of the show they're just like, "Hey, where's Perry? Oh, there you are, Perry." And so you don't really see the connection between them like as much. So
Yeah,
there are some episodes where it's more focused like when they lose him and they
yeah.
find him, but like it's so nice that in this movie you just see how much they love him.
Yeah, because I think it's like their 5th anniversary with
Yeah, yeah,
Phineas.
yeah. So they head downstairs and they're like, "Oh, hey, it's been 5 years since we got Perry." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday." And it like flashes back. They went to the pet store. They're gonna pick out a pet, and they're like, "Look, Phineas, this one's looking at you. Look, Ferb, this one's looking at you." And Candace is like, "None of them are looking at me."
She's like running at the fish and they run away from her.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Look, Ferb, this one's looking at both of us at the same time."
It's just
So
Perry giving cross-eyed.
yeah, he just looks at them both at the same time because his eyes like divert a little bit. And then Candace goes, "What would you even name a platypus?" And he goes, "Ferb and I both knew Bartholomew." And then we took you home and we renamed you Perry. Like I love that joke.
Yeah, I don't think you wrote down every joke in this because
No,
it's a heavy joke per minute show.
Mhm.
yeah, everything happens so fast, so I'm not able to get like every single clip. But that one has stuck with me since I watched it. I love that joke. They're just like Bartholomew, and we changed our mind. Um, and they also mentioned they gave him a locket that like
Yes.
has his picture and Phineas and Ferb in it that apparently he just wears around his neck. And yep, that's been there the whole time.
Yep. So I made a crazy realization earlier today. So that scene when Perry is kind of looking at both of them, this reminds me of, even though I haven't seen the movie, Hoppers. That
Mm,
stupid lizard that always
lizard.
pops up everywhere. It has a lot of scenes where like its eyes like go to its side, and
Yeah.
so I figured out that I think part of the reason I love Perry and part of the reason I love the lizard is because they feel very similar to me in terms of characters.
When Perry is like dormant, his eyes are like looking different way. You're like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes, it's perfect.
it
The
is.
Perry in platypus form, not in secret agent form, is always just like such an oaf.
I love
Yes.
him. Yeah, he's so
He's just
cute.
derpy.
Yeah.
And they're always like, he doesn't do much.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is like platypuses, they don't do much. Okay, so we see Candace in her room and she calls Jeremy and he's like, "Oh, I'm going on a tour for a college." And she's like, "Oh, that's right, you're a whole year older than me." And they hang up and Candace is like, "Dang, he's gonna be moving off to college and be so mature. Like, I'm just a kid still. I gotta grow up." So that's gonna be like her plot
Yeah.
is trying to grow up this movie. In the yard, Phineas and Ferb are playing baseball, but it's like a special ball that can kind of just fly around.
It's like a remote control ball that can hone back into their glove.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Isabella comes to the backyard and says, "What you
They get all the quote.
doing,
Actually, no,
Forrest?"
that's not true. Out of all the like stereotypical quotes that catchphrases, I feel like what you're doing might be the only one.
No, they do like
Well, they do the Perry the Platypus.
Yeah.
they do
Yeah,
like, "Hey, where's Perry?" They do that
yeah.
one. They go, "Ferb, I know what we're gonna do
Yep.
today."
I was thinking like they don't do a lot of the ones like "Aren't you a little young to blank
You're right.
blank?"
They don't do that one, yeah.
Well, they definitely had an opportunity when they go and meet Doof eventually. Like, they
Yeah.
definitely could have said,
I
like,
It
guess
we're a little young to build dimensional portals.
yeah, I guess Doof didn't really care.
Well, that tracks with his character, too.
Yeah.
So,
He'd just be like, "Okay." Um, so they show Isabella how they're using Perry's tail to like fling the baseball. Like they kind of scratch him in his tail.
They
and
notice
goes
he
up.
has a reaction whenever they scratch him in a certain way. He flips his tail up.
Yeah. And then Belgian and Buford show up and they're like, "Oh, let's make like a giant one of these, like a Perry to fling stuff, right?" Um, and so like they build it and then like a little time gap, like they built their thing and then they're like, "Oh wait, Perry's gone. Oh, on the anniversary he disappeared." Man, sometimes it feels like Perry has missed every single cool thing we've ever done this summer. So, like, I guess he can do what he wants. It's his day after all. And we see Perry just kind of like hiding behind the tree, and then he like throws a pebble
It's
to
like, I'll go,
distract
oh,
him.
let's go listen to what made that tiny little noise over
Yeah,
there.
let's
yes.
all go check it out. And then he heads down a giant tube to his secret lair. And Major Monogram's there, and he goes, morning, Agent P. And he tells Perry, like, Agent P, there's a couple times you've been close to getting caught. And if that happens, like, you'll have to be reassigned. You can't let your host family figure out who you are. We wouldn't want
I think
that.
he says at the beginning, like, I'm just going to say this randomly right now.
Yeah.
And
No
he's like,
foreshadowing whatsoever.
yeah. Um, I remember the day you were assigned, and then it flashes back to when they were at the pet store, and the lady that sold them Perry turned out to be Carl
In
in a
disguise.
Yes.
suit.
Which is so funny because, like, they didn't even need it to be in a disguise.
And Carl at this point is not even an unpaid intern.
No, he's
No.
going to get
below
promoted
unpaid
to
intern.
unpaid intern.
He is below.
And so even the start with Perry is really different from most Phineas and Ferb episodes because in most episodes they're like, "Oh, where's Perry?" And then
Yeah.
that's kind of it. But in this, like, they actually care and they're like, "Oh, this actually really sucks that Perry's not here," and they spend
Yeah.
more time looking and caring about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's the anniversary that we got him. Like
Yeah.
we want to spend time with him specifically. So, but then they do just let it go. Like he can do whatever he wants. So it's his day. Yeah. So then Major Monogram explains how they've like duplicated all of Doof's innators. Just to like study them, and they
Mhm.
can't decide if they're getting smarter or dumber. Like it's inconclusive. And it's interesting that they threw this in. It's just so that they could have the conclusion at the end of like, oh, Doof invented this one thing once and we have it.
Mhm.
Like, otherwise, how else would they have had that? I guess. So, I don't
So
know.
this actually ties in with the question that I've always wondered
Mm.
is how does our amazing organization without a cool acronym get their funding? Because if you are able to replicate every single one of Doof's inventions, one, you have a lot of very useful inventions that can help the world that they seem not to ever use.
No, yeah.
There's a couple of things. Number one, isn't the reason that they pick animals so that they don't have to pay them? I feel like that's told
Yes.
at one point.
Yes, that is part of it. But like even Carl, who is putting in work assigning these agents to their home, also is not getting paid.
Yeah.
But they do have the money to replicate every single invention that Doof
I think,
creates.
but you have to remember, this is also Phineas and Ferb have the money to do all the equipment that they have. Like, I think somehow
Yeah.
raw materials they just decide is raw materials and labor does not
Just
count
appear.
as
I guess that makes
funds
sense.
in this universe.
Yeah, how do Phineas and Ferb get all their materials and their parents don't notice?
They're
Like,
not racking up credit card debt.
yeah.
Well,
I
not that
guess-
you know about.
I guess she's Lindana and she wants to have fun, so they have tons of royalty money.
Maybe they're
That
trust
is,
fund
that
babies.
is true. Lindana does slap.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so then Carl shows Perry a bunch of like new gadgets. Like he has a watch now that does a bunch of cool stuff. It's a big magnet. It can like show a hologram of Major Monogram so that they can talk at any time. And he says specifically, don't call me between 3:30 and 4.
So that's when I shout.
That's what I tell. Okay, so then Stacy shows up to Candace's room and she's putting away all of her like childish stuff. She's like, I need to grow up. I need to be more mature for Jeremy. And then mom comes up and lets them know that she's going to the movies with the dad. So Candace is in charge. And Candace is like, yeah, I'm so matured now. I don't even think I want to bust the boys anymore. And Stacy's like, well, if you're an adult, you can just bust them yourself. And Candace's like, if I'm an adult, I can just bust them myself. And
That's genius.
Yeah.
yeah, Stacey's like, I just said that. So then we go to Doof and Schmertz Evil Incorporated. And Doof is just like practicing telling Perry all about his dimension invention with like
He's not going to monologue it to the kids when they show up later because Perry doesn't show up.
that's true. That's a good way to get around like explaining what it is. 'cause
Yeah,
he's
got like a wooden Perry. that
Yeah.
he has, just ready for all his monologues. Get some practice in.
Yeah, and Norm is like, the buffet is ready. And I don't know why he has a buffet. He's just like, it was for Perry.
I don't think that comes back, does it?
No, when Phineas and Ferb show up, he like offers them the buffet, and that's it.
I guess it's so in the final fight scene between
Yeah, there is
Cyborg Perry
yes,
and Perry
the buffet
that
does
there's
come in.
food.
You're right. They're like, we want a tray of food here.
And there's a bunch of muffins that alternate dimension Norm
Yeah.
keeps bringing out too.
Yeah. All right, so back to the backyard. The kids are launching themselves in a giant like badminton like birdie, isn't that what they're called? Shock put?
Yeah.
And
Shuttlecock.
yeah, shuttlecock, thank you. And Carl finishes like showing Perry all the gadgets, and so Perry leaves in the like jetpack car thing,
The
rocket
souped up
car.
jetpack car.
Yeah,
too.
and it goes super fast. And so while the boys are in the air being launched, Perry shoots up and they like collide. So it sets them completely off course. Candace goes in the yard, and of course the invention is gone.
Yeah, when it flipped, the shuttlecock, the giant launcher, rolled out of their
It
yard.
just rolled away. Yeah. She's like, oh, the mysterious force made it go away. I must now be a grown up. Like it proved it.
Yeah, if Candace is able to make the inventions disappear, I agree. She must be grown up.
As a Phineas and Ferb fanatic and expert, when did Candace start mentioning it as like the mysterious force? Because it's definitely something that changed.
It's pretty early on because I think it gets really in the first season. Like they keep trying to find a way to talk about it because it is like
Mhm.
it is like the mysterious force is a great way to describe it, but I think they hadn't figured out how to really talk about it as
Yeah.
like a being.
About Candace being like, how does this keep happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think once they give it a name, I think it's probably sometime in season 2, I think is when they start calling it the mysterious force.
hmm
It's just such a great name.
It is. I loved the season 5 episode where Candace and Doof have the same therapist, and he like connects that like what's happening to them
Yeah.
is connected. It's incredible.
Figures the whole thing out.
Yeah.
Also, like, what a crazy time for that therapist. Who
Yeah.
This being like, what?
Wait a second. Are these two not crazy?
Yeah. Okay, so Candace decides that like all of them are gonna go to the park to find the boys, and she's in charge because she's an adult now. So then the boys end up crashing into the Doofenshmirtz building.
It's
Right.
like, oh, Ferb, we're gonna go into that building that looks vaguely like your face.
It does. Right into the Inator. And they like crash and they're like, I'm so sorry, sir. Like, we don't know what happened. We were just flying on our own and we got hit by something. And Doofenshmirtz is like, well, you just destroyed my other dimensionator. And the boys are like, whoa, that sounds cool. Like, we'll help you fix it. We're really good at that kind of stuff. And Doofenshmirtz is like, okay, sure. And help yourself to this buffet, especially since, like, the guest I'm expecting is late. Like, he was expecting Perry. And it cuts to Perry, who crashed the rocket car, and he needs a tow. And the tow guy's like, luckily I have a rocket car winch. Like, a lot of guys don't have that. So later, they're just about finishing the Inator, and they realize that, like, before Doofenshmirtz was making it wasn't working. And so they're like, well, your problem is that everything was wired through this self-destruct button. Like, why do you even need that?
He's like, well, yeah, of course I need. Wait a second.
Wait, I don't need a self-destruct button. You're right. And so the kids are also like, we made this remote that can open a portal as well, just in case we get separated from this one. So, yeah. And then Perry is busting in as his agent self and like in slow motion realizes that Phineas and Ferb are there and decides like shit, I can't be discovered. So he just goes to his like dormant platypus self.
Which, of course, Doof cannot recognize
Of
whatsoever.
course.
It's just a regular
It's just a
platypus.
regular platypus.
It's
It's
so
one of my
funny.
favorite lines in here. And yeah,
Yeah.
it says, "Oh,
Like,
there you are,
oh, there
Perry."
you are, Perry. And Doofenshmirtz is like, Perry? And they're like, yeah, this is our pet platypus. And he goes, is every platypus named Perry? Because he just cannot put it together. It's so funny. And yeah, he's like, is every platypus named Perry? And they're like, in a perfect world, it would, yes. Like,
I do love how trusting Doof is of these two random kids that just like showed up to his apartment and they're like, "Oh, we can fix machines." And he's like, "Go for it, absolutely."
absolutely, yeah. Like, it is kind of weird that they're like, oh, I guess, I mean, they don't think, know he's evil. They're like, you're making a thing that can cross dimensions? That sounds like something we would do.
Well,
So,
they are
Yeah.
flying into a building called Evil Incorporated
They
with
just
his
They
name
don't see
in
it.
it.
They only see it from the front where there's like
Yeah.
the mouth open.
The second part, also, I just want to say, I have not watched Milo Murphy's Law. But I'm 90% sure based on like what I've seen about it, that later on, like Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Phineas and Ferb team up again in that to like repair
oh, well,
what a machine to help with that.
they meet, right? Because
Yeah.
in season 5, Isabella was like, "You don't remember me, Doctor Doofenshmirtz?" And when did that happen? Like season 4?
Well, Isabella sells Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, okay. So that's how they knew each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Um. Yeah. So Perry then like fights Doofenshmirtz because he's still trying to stop him, and Phineas and Ferb are just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He usually doesn't do this." And Doofenshmirtz like, it's okay. Platypuses don't typically like me. And then Perry like is trying to take the last piece of the innator that they need, and Phineas is like, "Hey, like give that back." And then Perry hears Major Monogram say, like, remember, if your cover is blown, you'll never see the boys again. And Doofenshmirtz is like, do you guys hear? And it's because it was from his hologram watch. Like, Major Monogram just was saying that to him. And so as the boys are about to finish, Perry goes over and pees on a sofa, on Doofenshmirtz's sofa,
He just runs on top of the sofa and
and just
pisses.
pees. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He usually doesn't act like this. Like, we should take him outside. And Doofenshmirtz is like, oh, that's okay. I was going to replace that sofa anyway. Like, let's just finish the Nader. So they finish it and they open a portal to another dimension. And they see a couch. And it's a pretty cool couch, though. And so he's like, hey, let's replace my couch with this couch. And so he goes in, he starts trying to take the couch.
And I know he's evil, but it is funny that his first thought is just like, oh, I just opened a portal to another dimension. Let's just switch couches.
Yeah.
Well, he just, his couch got peed on, and there's what they see, the new dimension is a couch.
It's
So
such an upgrade of a couch, too.
it is. So he's like, okay. So they all kind of go into the portal to the other dimension, and they see that the whole city is themed after Doofenshmirtz, but like with an eye patch.
Because
So
he's
like,
more evil.
yeah. So like, well, you're doing really well for yourself in this dimension. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, your leader? What? Oh my gosh, I took over the tri-state area in this dimension. And we see Major Monogram here is an indentured executive assistant that works for Doofenshmirtz, but not really. And he's like, "Oh, I'll send you to this dimension's Doofenshmirtz." So he like sends our Doof on a ride, like in a chair, and it's kind of like a small world ride
Yeah.
through the office. And so the two Doofenshmirtz meet and they start singing Brand New Best Friend. And this is a song that I can't listen to outside of context because
Yes.
Doofenshmirtz's voice is just not
It's
that
intentional.
pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intentional.
And you've got Double Doof for that song, which makes
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And it's just a song about how similar the two of them are, that they like the same things and dislike the same things.
Yeah, because they're like the same person, just from another dimension. And
Yeah.
so they're like, I finally have a best friend that's just like me.
But as an early 2026 watch of this movie, it's the craziest line in the whole movie.
Yeah, that right away he goes, do you collect coins? He says, yes, just in case vending machines become the dominant race. And we were both like, what? The latest episode of Phineas and Ferb season 5 was literally that plot. Was Doofenshmirtz and his huge coin collection accidentally like making vending machines like sentient and they take over.
Yes.
I'm like, are you kidding?
Was this planned, or did they just like go back to this movie and go, let's do that plot?
Well, so they definitely like no sources for this, but they definitely have to have a list of like potential episodes that they
Yeah.
could do
That they
by
could
just
call
like
back
dropping
to.
this stuff. And so like I think talking about his coin collection, the vending machines, is something they were like, we don't know how to make a full episode of this. Let's like write it down and we'll see. And then when
Yeah.
they had their few-year break after Phineas and Ferb ended and before the reboot, I bet they looked back at that and they were like,
We could do
I've got an
that.
idea now.
Yeah, like let's actually call back to that in the movie. And it says, I've been alone all these years with my irrational fears. And Doof goes, well, not the vending machine thing. That's going to happen. And then it does happen eventually. So that just blew our minds. Like, that's so cool that they went back to that. Because when we first watched this movie, obviously that wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
Because that episode wasn't out yet. So it's cool watching the movie now and knowing that they did reference that.
So many times I feel like when we're doing a podcast, something happens like a month or two ahead of our actual recording, but I'm like, I'm so happy we're recording it now instead of
Yeah.
then.
So we can talk about it.
Because if
Yeah.
we recorded this 3 months ago, we wouldn't be mentioning this at all.
No, we would have just
We
been
would have
like,
brought the
Yeah.
lines down.
no,
That's crazy too.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have noticed that part at all. I would have just been like, okay, that's just a silly song. But now it's like, that matters.
Yeah, it really is just like a throwaway line until they came out with the new episode.
Yeah, absolutely insane. So yeah, they like say, I found a new best friend and it's me. And he says, I can't help to notice that your scar goes over your eye patch. He's like, yeah, okay. Like, they acknowledge that that's not how an eye patch would work, but just say that's how he's designed.
Yeah,
So,
they just move on so quick. It's like
Yeah.
that, and then it's like completely done, never mentioned again.
yeah. And there's like tons of references in this song. Obviously, like visually, they're referencing
Phineas
other
and Ferb
movies
always
and
loves
stuff.
doing background references of stuff, and this
Yeah.
is when they just pick every parent history they can possibly think of, basically. And
Yeah.
they're doing stuff. They have Lewis and Clark. They have Simon and Garfunkel.
And they did Phineas and Ferb, too.
Yeah. They do a lot.
Yeah. All right, so then Phineas and Ferb look around with Perry, who's worried, and meanwhile, like the Doofenshmirtz talk, and he's like, "So, how come you're not ruling your tri-state area?" And our Doofenshmirtz is like, "Well, clearly you didn't have to deal with Perry the Platypus," and he's like, "Oh, didn't I?" And then Cyborg Perry comes out, and he's like, "This is Perry the Platyborg, and he's the general of my army. I like just kidnapped him and made him into my cyborg slave, basically." So
I do love that alternate universe Doof still loves Perry in like some degree, like that he's willing to like Perry becomes a cyborg instead of just kill Perry and
Yeah.
have someone else.
yeah,
There's still that connection after what I would assume is all these years of fighting until alternate universe Doof finally won. That like they still keeps him around.
yeah,
Doofenshmirtz never in either of these versions, even though this alternate one is definitely super duper evil, very rarely is actually to murder.
well,
It is at the end in this one.
in this movie, he is like gonna throw them in lava and stuff. But
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah,
But he would much rather take control than murder.
yeah.
Mhm.
So then the boys and Perry come into their office, and Evil Doof is like, "You brought a secret agent here?" And Doof is like, "Who? The boys? They're a secret agent?" And he goes, "No." He's like, "What? That plant?"
They just pan over to just a potted plant next to them.
He goes, "No, the platypus." And Phineas is like, "Oh no, this is our platypus. He doesn't do much." And Evil Doofenshmirtz is like, "You think he's your pet? He's using you. You're his cover." And then he calls Platyborg and has him like hit Perry to try and make him like reveal that he's an agent, but Perry does nothing. So then he's like, all right, I'm gonna have him punch like Phineas and Ferb now,
Uh-huh.
so that then Perry protects them, right? He's not gonna let them get hurt. And Doofenshmirtz is like, I'm confused. Why does their platypus fight so good?
Perry just like sighs and puts on his hat.
Perry the platypus.
It's so funny how Doof is just completely oblivious. It's like his last thought is, maybe this platypus could be Secret Agent Perry the Platypus.
Yeah, no.
Even a plant is more
Mhm.
likely than this platypus without a hat.
Yeah.
How many platypuses does he know?
So then evil Doofenshmirtz sends his robots in to attack them, and Perry tries to escape with the boys, and Phineas is just like having a mental like crisis
The
now.
rest of the movie is Phineas like struggling to deal with this fact.
It's so funny. He's like, "You're an agent? Is this where you disappear to all day? You fight a pharmacist? Why would you even do
I
that?"
do love the running gag of everyone thinking Doofenshmirtz is a pharmacist.
Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm not a pharmacist. I'm an evil scientist." And they're like, "So not only have you been lying, you let us help an evil scientist open a portal to another dimension, and you did nothing to stop us?" And Ferb is like, "Well, he did pee on the couch." And Duke was like, "Wait, I just realized that was a conscious choice. You peed on my couch." That's another one of my favorite jokes of the whole thing. He's like, "You consciously peed on my couch. What the hell?" Um, Phineas is so pissed. He's like, "That was not enough. N- like now is not the time to have put on your hat and revealed yourself. Back then was the time you should have put on your hat and revealed yourself." And then Perry, to protect all of them, he like pushes the three of them out the window and like parachutes down to escape.
Mhm.
And as they're parachuting down, Phineas is like, "I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time processing all this." So Perry hands a pamphlet.
Yeah.
Phineas goes, "I want your stupid
Mm.
pamphlet," and he throws it away.
I do love that there's a pamphlet for everything.
Yeah, they're just like, "So you found out your pet is a secret agent." Like, I don't want your pamphlet. So then Platyborg goes after them and they end up on the roof of a building and Perry's feet are stuck inside this like skull. Um, and so the boys try to help him out and it doesn't work. Like he has to fight with his feet still stuck in it. And then the parachute falls on the boys and Phineas is like, "Look, he has a logo. Why is it so low?"
It's kind of crazy for a secret agent to have a logo.
It's just his
The end
face.
of a platypus too. Like it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you just see a random platypus parachute.
Yeah. So then the two Perrys fight each other. Cyborg Perry like kind of kicks ass, but then the boys wrap him up in the parachute. And Phineas is like, "All this time we were like, he's a platypus. He doesn't do much. Well, it turns out you do." And then we see Perry actually gets tangled up in the ropes of the parachute as it's like falling off the building, and so he's also about to fall. And so the boys hold on to him, but they all fall. And then they kind of just like dink down a building and they're like, "We were saved by this unconventional architecture." Like, they ended up being fine.
We're playing pinball with their bodies a little bit.
Yeah. So then Norm comes, like a Norm bot,
Yeah.
comes and asks for their papers, but then the skull falls on him, so
Got
that's
knocked
fine.
out.
Yeah.
Saved by the skull.
And then Cyborg Perry comes out again, but then he gets hit by a bus, so it's like fine.
Yeah,
And
he narrowly misses getting hit by a falling Normbot. He
Yeah.
takes like a step to the side and then gets hit by a bus.
Yeah. And the two Doofenshmirtz say, "Curse you, Perry the Platypus." And the three of them escape, but Cyborg Perry is like, he's going to start searching for them. But I don't think he doesn't actually find them. So,
No.
yeah. All right. So then the two boys and Perry hide. Phineas is still like, "You're a secret agent?" Like, he still just can't get over it.
I'd be pretty shook too.
Yeah.
But 5 years I've had a pet, and then I finally find out they're a secret agent.
If you read the pamphlet, though.
I know. I was handed a pamphlet that I'm sure would have explained everything.
Yeah.
He should have read the pamphlet. He says, "Were you ever even our pet or even part of our family?" Apparently not, because you never told us, because you don't trust us. And Ferb just kind of like touches Phineas, and Phineas is like, "You're right. We got to concentrate on how to get home." So they pull out the remote that can open another portal. And they open one, but it's like to a completely different dimension again. So they're like, "What's happening?" "I know what we'll do. We'll find the Phineas and Ferb in this dimension, and they'll be able to help us." So then evil Doofenshmirtz tries to train our Doofenshmirtz that we know how to be able to tell Perry is Perry without the hat and with the hat. And he's like, "I don't get it. If we're the same person, like, why are you so much better at being evil than me?" And he's like,
Well, I got a really good evil backstory.
"Yeah, here's my tragic backstory. As a kid, I had a toy train, and then one day I lost it."
Hmm.
Cinema.
And that's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
And Jewish was like, "That's it? That's your great tragedy?" Like, my parents weren't at my birth.
Both of them.
Both of them weren't at my birth. I was a gnome. Like, I was raised by, like, what are they?
Ocelots.
Ocelots? Like,
Just go through some of the highlights of the Doof backstories.
Yeah, it was pretty great. And this evil Doofenshmirtz like, well, how did you feel when you lost the train? And Doof's like, I don't think I lost that train. I think I saw what happened. He's like, well, there you go. Maybe if you lost that train, you'd take over the tri-state area by now. And it's also kind of briefly mentioned that Doofenshmirtz is like, well, we're still like working together, and Evil Doofenshmirtz is like, sure. It's like, are you being sarcastic right now? No. Back in the regular dimension, Candace and the kids are looking for Phineas and Ferb. Buford has victory gum. Is that a reference to something? It's like victory gum.
Well, it was a reference to something like I remember that it was a reference to something that happened like a minute before. I think he like
Okay.
won.
He won the badminton game because
Yeah, Phineas and Ferb
they
forfeit.
forfeited by not hitting it.
Okay.
And on the gum it says like forfeits count as wins too.
And
Okay,
it
gotcha.
comes with his existentialism trading cards, which
Yes.
is just famous existentialists in history.
Yeah. And there's like, but where's the platypult? I don't know, it's gone. So it's like, oh, the mysterious force took it. And we see it getting towed away by the same guy. He's like, oh, thank God I had a binge for this.
Shout out to that tow truck driver having a flying like
Like a rocket car.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rocket car winch and a platypus catapult.
It was a
winch.
big
Yeah.
win for the particular winches
Yeah.
gang.
Yes.
So Candace is like, why doesn't the mysterious force just want them to get busted? Oh, we should ask for them to bust them. So she drags Stacy back to the backyard because that's where the heart of the force is. So back in the second dimension, the boys like go to their house, quote unquote, their house, and they see their dad, and he like heads off to the factory because everyone's just a slave in this dimension. And they tell Perry to take off the hat and just like pretend to be normal again because this Phineas and Ferb probably don't know that he's an agent. Um, and then they ring the doorbell, and Mom's like, "Get inside, change into your dooferalls. What are you doing outside? It's not safe." And they find Phineas and Ferb in the second dimension just like very boring. They're just
Sitting on a couch doing nothing.
they're playing a board game where you can like form.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great board game design. It's a big spinner with 7 zeros and
And a
1
one.
1 to move a space, and Phineas gets a 1,
And
and then he moves and he gets to draw a card, and it just says informed.
more.
Like I can do that.
So then second dimension, Phineas and Ferb see Perry. This part's so sad. They see Perry and they're like, oh my god, it's Perry. He came back. And they hug him. And our Phineas is like, oh no, we're actually from another dimension. This is our Perry. And 2D Phineas is like, oh, well, can I just hold him a little longer? Because he left one day and he never came back and we miss him so much. It's like, oh, these poor boys.
It's so sad
It's
because
so
like
sad.
they see like another version of themselves, but
Yeah.
they don't really care. They're like, Perry is back.
Yeah,
They're
Perry.
going to Perry.
They really miss him.
Yeah. And then Candace comes in, 2D Candace, and sees that there's 4 of them and is like, I'm not looking, I want plausible deniability, and she leaves. And so Phineas is like, huh, your Candace is like a lot less interested in what you're doing than our Candace is. She always kind of spends all her time interested in what we're doing. She spends all summer doing that. And they're like, summer?
What summer?
What summer? And they're like, you don't know what summer is? And so they sing a whole song about summer. And this is like the one song where it's like, they really just kind of shoehorned in this
Yes, they
into the
did.
plot.
They were like, we need a song around this time.
Which,
in the
like,
plot.
it totally fits for a Phineas and Ferb thing, though, to like just have a song dedicated to summer and how wonderful it is, because that's the whole premise of the show. Like, I have a feeling that they just kind of wrote this song outside of the plot.
It
and
very much
wanted to
could have
put it
just
in.
been a generic episode song they felt like they could fit in
Yes.
if they needed for a different plot.
I think they just, with how grand this movie is, like, they didn't know they were going to get more movies, probably. They just, like, wanted to do a song like this, just about summer.
It felt like they had the song written and then
Yeah.
they just decided this is a good spot to put it.
Yeah.
But it really just didn't flow.
It didn't flow.
And this also is how they incorporate the theme song of the show.
Yes, yeah. So as they're talking about summer, they, like, break into the theme song where they're talking about all the things that you do in summer, just as a nod to the TV show. But yeah, they're like, it's summer, where do we begin? And that's the song. Like when they're like, it's cherry soda, blah blah blah. Like I don't know. It's a cute song. It just like it's fine. It doesn't really move the plot along.
It was just the wrong time for that song. It
Yeah.
felt like.
It doesn't really fit anywhere in this
Yeah.
movie. So
It's not for this movie's plot.
no.
Because this movie has very little to do with it being summer.
Right, yeah. So then Perry watches evil Doofenshmirtz give a message on TV that's basically saying, like, Perry Platypus, if you turn yourself in, I won't hurt your friends. Like, if you don't turn yourself in, I'll hurt them. So Perry tries to sneak off, but Phineas is like, you're kidding. Like, you're sneaking off again? Has it occurred to you that, like, maybe we could help and we could be a good team? Like, whatever. You don't have to sneak away. We know your secret. You can just go. And so Perry just walks away sadly. He's walking down the street.
It's just
It starts to rain.
an extended sad scene.
And he says, I used to think you couldn't spell platypus without us.
Oh.
There's one of the Ferb lines in here. He goes, well, you could, but then it would just be planet.
Platypus.
Ferb doesn't have many lines, but they all hit in this movie.
Yeah.
Just like, again, the writers, it's such a formulaic plot for all of Phineas and Ferb media. And it's just like every one, they're trying to figure out what moment exactly would be the best time to drop in a Ferb line.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So Phineas is like, well, I guess if you two can't help us, we'll just go ask Isabella. And 2D Phineas and Ferb are like, who? Who's Isabella? And they're like, the girl who lives across the street. Like, what do you mean? Um, and they're like, well, neighbors are dangerous here. Or like Mom said neighbors are dangerous here. And Mom in the other room's like, they are. So let's go meet them anyway. So then they go outside and they're like, what about all the robots? And they're like, don't worry. We've been sneaking by them all day. So you just gotta be careful. And then they immediately get caught. They're like, dang it. Like we weren't that careful, I guess. But then Buford comes and like disarms it. And we learn in this dimension, Buford is part of the resistance, or at least he used to be. Then he started to resist the resistance because he got too good at resisting.
Yeah. Very Buford. It's very interesting how Buford becomes part of the gang overall.
Yes.
Just like, because he's unambiguously the bully.
In the start of the show,
Mhm.
he's the bully, yeah.
Yeah.
Then he just becomes
It just
friends with
slowly
them.
morphs into like, yeah, he's a part of the gang, especially like again, most recent media we've seen is this movie, but then season 5, like it's always weird if you don't see Buford now, like in an episode,
Yeah.
and he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, and he had a whole plot in season 5 about wanting to do a Bread Bowl hot tub. And
What a great
he
episode.
got it. It was great. Okay, yeah, so Doofenshmirtz shows evil Doofenshmirtz, the Dimensionator thing, like they're rebuilding it. And he's like, it doesn't work though. Like, I need those boys to fix it. And he's like, oh, I need the boys now. So Perry comes in because he turned himself in so that the boys wouldn't get hurt. And evil Doofenshmirtz is like, I know I said I wouldn't hurt your friends, but now I need them. So like, whoops, I'm a liar.
So guess what? I'm evil. Deal with it.
Yeah. Okay, so then the kids find Isabella and the Resistance, and they really in this dimension only know Phineas and Ferb as Candace's brothers because they don't get out much.
Well, neighbors are scary.
Yeah, exactly. Phineas and Ferb never leave their house, but they know Candace because she's
Reasons we'll see
yeah, we'll see.
shortly.
They explain how they're from another dimension, and they're like, can you help us get back? And then we see like second dimension Baljeet.
Dr. Baljeet.
Yes, Dr.
Got
Baljeet.
his doctorship in this universe, apparently.
And he explains how like alternate dimensions work and how it's just kind of a circle. And if you like, they went clockwise into the next dimension, and so their dimension is like one step backwards, counterclockwise. So in order to go backwards, you need like a shit ton of energy. You need 8 million gigawatts in order to do it. Otherwise, you could just go forward clockwise, but you'd have to go through like a ton of different dimensions.
Yeah, they
to
don't even
go
know
back in
how many
circle.
dimensions there are. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, if you just keep going forward, eventually you might get there.
Yeah, you might get there eventually. So he's like, well, can you help us get enough power? And they're like, we'll have to ask our leader. And then it's like a shadow of a big guy with a deep voice. It's like, that's the leader. And then the light turns on, and that was just a hedge of a big guy. And it's Candace next to it with the deep voice because it's made up. hedge is made out of parsnips, and she's allergic to parsnips, as we know.
Yeah.
It makes her voice go really deep. Yeah.
I got this.
I got this. And so we learn that she's the head of the resistance here. And she's like, I spent all these years trying to protect my brothers. Now they're all over the TV. And our Phineas and Ferb are like, oh, sorry, that's about us. Like, we're trying to get back home. And so Candace agrees, like, okay, let's get you guys back home so that my brothers aren't in danger anymore, basically. So they're going to hook up all their power and try and get them back in their dimension. Back in our normal dimension, Candace asks the mysterious force for help, and then a portal opens up. So we're like, holy shit, it's a mysterious force. It opened up a portal.
It works.
But actually, it was just the portal from the second dimension opening back up there. And so the boys are like, oh, cool, that's it. We can go home. Hey, where's Perry? Oh, yeah, he left. And then they see on TV that Perry's in trouble. Evil Doofenshmirtz is like, we have your platypus or something. I don't know. And so, like, we have to save him. He's still part of our family. We can't leave him behind. And the second dimension Phineas and Ferb come in and they like convince Candace to help them because they know how it feels to lose Perry. So they don't want them to lose Perry. Meanwhile, our Candace just decides like, I'm gonna go through that portal. The mysterious force opened that portal. I'm going through it. So she heads in right before it closes.
I think her going in makes it close.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, because it's super
fragile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also really interesting because Stacy is in the regular dimension with Candace.
Yeah.
But the second Candace goes through, it closes.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if Phineas and Ferb both
only one of them probably could have made it.
To make it back.
Maybe if they all went at the same time. Because Stacy just didn't even try.
That is true. Stacy really did not put in much effort.
No.
Also, there's not a second dimension Stacy either ever.
Now that we see, no.
Yeah. They have that close.
I mean, she's not their neighbor, right? So it's like, unless she was directly involved with the resistance, she just wouldn't be there. Whereas like Isabella and Belgian and Buford all are directly involved with the resistance. Okay, so Candace is there now, our Candace, and she's like confused, but they're like, we can't explain, like we explain on the way, we have to go save Perry. But Candace, second dimension Candace, tells second dimension Phineas and Ferb, like, you're not coming with us. You have to stay here where it's safe. So then they're
where it gets confusing to talk about which character is which.
Yeah, and I liked how in the subtitles they called them like 2D Candace and 2D Phineas and Ferb. Like, that's a great way to differentiate.
Even though they're all 2D animated.
That's true. So they're taking this like train car thing through some tunnels. Like, I think it's like the resistance tunnels. They are explaining to Candace how Perry's actually a secret agent, but not just in this dimension. Like, in our dimension, he's a secret agent. In this dimension, he's a cyborg. It's kind of confusing. And our Candace, like, sees second dimension Candace, like, dang, she's really cool.
Yeah.
And she's like, so is there a second dimension Jeremy? And
Johnson, Jeremy, great soldier, leader of the third unit.
Great soldier. And Candace is like, that's it? That's all you think about him? Don't you think he's cute? And second dimension Candace is like, cute doesn't win the war, kid. So the 2D Candace says like, I don't get to have fun. Like, I had to grow up real fast around here. I don't bust my brothers. I protect them. And then the 2D boys like appear in the car and they're like, oh, thanks, kid. It's like, you like us.
And she's like, what? And immediately it's trying to bring them back rather than the main task.
Yeah, so she stops the train, like they arrive where they're going, and 2D Candace is like, this is the end of the road. I need to get my brothers home. Like, you guys are on your own now. But they go in and immediately is a trap, right? Of course, the Doofenshmirtz trap them.
Yeah, they walk in and it's like, why is it so dark? And they're like, it's dark because it's a trap!
If it was light, you'd be able to see us.
What a great, like, reveal that was. And, like, I don't know. Like, if it was light, you would see us. That's so funny.
Perry is all chained up, and they're like, we came to rescue you. And then they look around, and they're surrounded. It's like, so far, it's not going as well as we hoped. We should have thought this out more. And Evil Doofenshmirtz mentions that, like, just kind of randomly that right now it's in between 3:30 and 4. And so, our Perry, like, turns on his hologram of Major Monogram, and he's in the shower. So, all the robots and like the Doom Patrol's like shield their eyes. I'm like, we don't want to see
Which
them in the
drops
shower.
their like leash of Harry, so it's
Yeah.
free now.
Yeah, so that's how they escape. I'm like, we can't, ew, like he's in the shower, and Major Monogram's like, I told you not to call me during this time.
I do love that all of the robots also were shielding their eyes. It's
Yeah.
not just like both Doofenshmirtz.
They programmed those robots with like sensitivity.
So then they all escape back to the train carts with the robots chasing them. They like start to wheel away in the train car. 2D Candace is being a badass, taking charge. She's fighting off a bunch of robots. And it's so funny when she's fighting them off, and it's like regular Dimension Phineas and Ferb and Candace are just like watching her. Like, can you do that, Candace? And she's like, apparently.
Because I think they do this as a double take later on, where second dimension Phineas and Ferb are watching our dimension Phineas and Ferb, and they ask Candace like, "Can we do that?" She goes, "No."
No. Perry fights a robot and like it ends up kind of exploding and setting the middle car on fire. And also like they're able to grab the arm of the robot and start using it as a gun. And that's when he's like, can we do that? No, you can't do that. So basically Candace realizes that like they're slowing down. They need to cut off the front car from the other two in order to make it in time.
And very conveniently, all the characters in our dimension are in the back car, and
Yeah.
all the characters in the second dimension are in the front car.
And the middle car's on fire, so they can't jump up to the front one. And I love this moment. This like stuck with me too. Of like second dimension Candace just like looking at them, looking at her brothers, and deciding like, sorry, I have to cut it off. Like
Yeah.
I'm sacrificing you guys. Like because her top priority is protecting her brothers. 100%. She will not falter on that.
Candace is obsessive in every universe. It's just a different
Hmm.
Yeah.
focus in each one.
Yeah. So she disconnects the car, and the second dimension characters get away, and our dimension characters are all left behind, and they get taken. 2D Phineas is like, you can't leave them, and 2D Candace is like, I had to make a tough call to keep you two safe. Meanwhile, short little scene, Stacy is back in the normal dimension trying to make a peace offering, like shrine
Oh,
thing.
mysterious
Yeah.
force, please take this shrine and Pants
Yeah.
and the boys.
Please let them come back.
Well, because like Stacy is like, there's no way this mysterious force.
Yeah, the
is
whole time
actually
she's been
real.
like downplaying the mysterious force existing, and now she saw it make a portal and take her friend who's gone.
Yeah. So an evil doof has the boys captured, and he's like, fix the machine. And Phineas goes, no. So, fix it. No. He can just say no. And he's like, fine. You forced my hand. And then he pulls out a little, like, sock puppet, and he says, fix the machine through the puppet. And Phineas is like, no. Like, you thought a puppet would sway me? He's like, I don't know. I did whatever a puppet told me to do when I was your age. He's like, how old do you think I am? It's like, I don't know. I only have one eye. Couldn't really tell you. He's like, what? I just want to invade and conquer your dimension,
Yeah,
your
no big
world.
deal.
Yeah. And Phineas is like, what? Exactly. Why would we, like, actively choose to help you cause our own destruction? And our
Doofenshmirtz, yeah.
goes, oh, that's right. That's what was wrong. The self-destruct button needs to be taken out. I
So
don't
when
know
he's
why.
rebuilding it again, he's like, yeah, I have to do the self-destruct button.
Yeah, I don't know why I put that back in. Just to gotta rewire it, and then he fixes the machine. And so Evil Doofenshmirtz is like, aha, now I don't need you anymore. I can send you all to your doom. Including our dimension Doofenshmirtz. He says, you're going to your doom too. And Doof is like, what? You can't be serious. He's like, doom, and he takes out the puppet, and he says, like, doom with the puppet. And this is when Doofenshmirtz goes, if I had a nickel for every time I was doomed by a puppet, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice, right?
It's so iconic.
Yeah, no, I genuinely believe this is out of every DCOM, and it's kind of crazy about this. The single line that has escaped, like, containment the most.
Yeah.
People reference this without having any clue where it's from.
Yeah.
it's really just become like a very common phrase of a joke,
Yeah,
both online and in like real life. I've heard real people who would have no idea what the Disney Channel even is
Yeah,
say this line
they go, I
basically.
had 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened
Mhm.
twice.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's a clear joke and a riff on just if I had a nickel type humor, but
It's so funny. It's such
it's
a
so
good
crazy
spin.
how big this line has become.
yeah,
It's
it
such a
really
good
has
spin.
just escaped. You know, like as you said, it escaped containment. Like it is everywhere, and
Yeah.
it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so clever.
It's just a meme of its own.
Just saying, I'd have 2 nickels.
It's such a good line too. It's just so funny of a way to be like, yeah, these I would have 2 nickels, but that's like still a lot for this situation.
You're like, that's not a lot of nickels, but it's weird that it happened twice. Instead of just being like, I can't believe this happened twice in my life. Like, it's so funny.
But it's so on brand for Doof.
It is, yeah. So then they're all being sent to their doom in the lava room with the giant gnomes and the big monster in the cage. And we're right back where we were at the beginning of the movie, and they even mentioned, like, whoa, deja vu.
Yeah, Ferb says "whoa deja vu"-ish because they're saying slightly different lines than they did in the
Yeah,
opening.
he's like, blah, 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 2-car garage. Like, oh, deja vu-ish. Um, so then they see that there's keys on one of the robot guards, so Perry uses his like magnet watch to get them, but it also tracks the entire robot to them. Um, so they're kind of like attached to the robot because all of them are chained together.
Mhm.
So they're like flying around on the robot and they kind of rewire it to be able to control it and fly it around. But they end up on top of the monster cage. Um, and he's like getting let loose and it opens and we learned his name is Goozum. And he's just like a big, like square dog.
He takes whatever shape like his containment is.
Yeah. So I don't. Do they really explain
No,
where he
no.
comes?
not at all. It's just a big
This is
square
just a
dog.
random dog. No Phineas and Ferb relation at
No.
all.
Just
He's-
random.
Yeah. So Perry tries to unlock the chains, but he drops the keys, like kind of on the bottom of the cage. They're at the top right now, so they climb down to get it, and they all end up like dangling on top of the lava pit with like Perry on top holding on, and then all of them are in a chain dangling. Candace catches the keys, and Doofenshmirtz is below Candace, and he goes, "Oh, the keys! Unlock me!"
This is great, wonderful. And he doesn't paying attention at all. He looks under him in this giant vat of lava, and he goes, "Oh,
Oh, do it later. He's so dumb.
Dude, he's just completely oblivious to everything going on, just like at all points in the movie.
Yeah. Some more robots come in, and Tootie Candace then shows up to save the day, kicking ass once again. She like swings around on the giant gnome that's there, whatever. I don't know. She's just kicking ass.
her brother's convinced her to actually come back."
Yep. She tosses the boys the dimension remote so that they can escape. And Phineas yells at Perry to let go. And Candace is going like, no, nope, there's lava below us, don't let go. But Phineas looks at Perry and says, trust me. And so Perry does. He trusts him and he lets go. So they're falling down to the lava. The monster just jumps in after them, despite it being
So
lava.
do a bunch of robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, the robots have a job to do.
Phineas is able to open a portal right before they hit the lava, so they go into another dimension instead of dying in the lava. So they're in this like pink flowery dimension now, and the robots follow them and start shooting lasers. So Phineas like closes the portal, and they are running away, and we get like a montage song of them just going through like hundreds of different dimensions, and the song is called "Brand New Reality."
It's fine. It's a filler
It's fine.
song.
It's just a quirky little song. It's very like standard for any random episode of Phineas and Ferb is what it feels
It
like.
feels like an episode song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going through some quirky dimensions that I didn't really write about.
They have the big floating baby head, so they always somehow include.
Yeah, they have a monster with like a big rubber duck. I really like it because they really mess with the scale as they move through the dimensions.
Yeah.
In one of them, they're smaller than an alien's like rubber duck in a bathtub.
One of them they fit in the chandelier of like a restaurant.
Yeah, and then another one they're crawling across the planets, like in the solar system.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see like how they really mess with the scale as they keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Eventually, they make it back home to their dimension. They went all the way around in the circle, right? He's like,
They went
we're
the
going
long way through
clockwise.
the circle.
Yeah, they went clockwise to get back to their dimension. But Evil Doof is about to open the portal to their dimension because now he has his innator fixed. So he sends in a bunch of robots to the tri-state area, and they start to take over the city. And we see Love Handle is also there.
The band from the show. They're always just randomly there when they want to be.
Yeah, they're just at the most random moments. They're just on a tour bus.
Yeah.
And like their bus gets knocked over.
They're
And
just-
that's all you see of them pretty much.
They're always around, and I always kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I wish that they were a little more special to just their episode. I feel like they're around all the time.
Yeah, they are around a weird amount of
Yeah.
time. Just existing. They don't even do anything most of the
No.
time.
Yeah.
They just like
Well,
exist.
in this one, they perform a song.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
and like I get it for the movie, you want to bring them
Yeah.
back probably, and that makes way more sense. I guess I'm just talking about the show in general of like I wish they were a little more sparse.
A little
Yeah.
more special for
Yeah,
them coming up, I
'cause-
could believe.
It kind of feels like they're around all the time, so it wasn't as much like, oh whoa, I can't believe they're back. Maybe at the time it was. I don't know how much they appeared in like season 3, but I don't know. Okay, so Major Monogram calls Perry and tells him like you need to save the day, and Phineas and Ferb want to help, which Major Monogram's like no, it's too dangerous. Like Perry needs to do it alone. So Perry like just kind of agrees with Major Monogram,
He takes off his locket
Yeah,
and
he-
hands it to them.
and then he walks away. And Phineas is like, "Dang, like I guess we'll just go home."
Being abandoned again.
Yeah,
Kind of crazy behavior. And I know what Perry's setting up for everything here.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of surprised the boys went along with it.
I'm surprised they're like, I guess we'll just go home. Like, it's good that they did with what Perry like intended for them.
But I guess it makes sense because Phineas keeps talking like the entire up until this point. He's just keeps complaining about how you really didn't trust us enough to like tell us.
Yeah,
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, Perry's not gonna trust us again. Just gonna run off, do his own thing."
yeah, we'll just go home. So, our Doofenshmirtz gets home as well, and he tries to get his neighbor to buzz him in.
This is shockingly long, like multiple segments.
Yeah,
To figure out like how do we delay Doofenshmirtz?
It's a good way to do it.
it's so
He forgot his keys in the other dimension.
Yeah,
So he's trying to get a neighbor to buzz him in, and the neighbor does not know what's going on.
he's like, I'm your neighbor upstairs, and he's trying to describe himself, and she's like, oh, that sounds like my neighbor upstairs. He's like, yeah, that's me. He goes, no, he's not home right now. So meanwhile, 2D Candace is locked in a cell in her dimension, and Jeremy comes and saves her. 2D Jeremy and Phineas and Ferb are with him, and
Phineas and Ferb.
yeah, 2D Phineas and Ferb are there, and they like have inventions now, right? This is the part where they like, yeah, and they worked with Jeremy, and Jeremy like compliments Candace, and it's like a little flirty of like, oh, maybe we do like each other, and then he tells her that the robots are invading the other dimension, so they're like, okay, we're all gonna go help and fight them, right?
Yeah, they're like, wait a sec. She goes, wait a second. This is the perfect time to go just take over our dimension
Oh yeah, take back our dimension, and then
because all the bots are
Oh my
gone.
God, yeah.
oh, that's true. Okay, right. They don't go into the
Yeah.
regular. Oh, they do eventually, right? Because they say goodbye at the end.
I don't remember.
I don't think they do.
They do.
I don't remember who's there at the final. Well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but
They
in
do
that
because
ending
like
scene, I
Cyborg
think
Perry
they're-
goes back,
Yeah.
and like they all maybe it's just because
They open the last portal.
they meet the portal and they see each other. And then they say
Yeah,
goodbye.
I think that's where it is.
Yeah.
I think it's through the portal.
Yeah. So right now they're not going to the regular dimension.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Stacy. Stacy is begging the Force, like, please, mysterious Force, bring Candace back. And then Candace is like, oh, hey, Stacy. And Stacy sees her and then goes back and says, and I also want a car.
Hey, if the mysterious
love-
force kidnaps your friend and then right when you ask brings your friend back, you gotta ask for something
You gotta
else.
throw in a
I love
car.
Stacey's arc in this movie. It's so small but great.
That's so funny. The boys are watching the invasion on the news, and then they hear a beeping noise, and it's the locket that Perry gave them, and it's like kind of like a homing device, and it leads them to one of the tunnels to the layers.
One of the millions of secret tunnels in this
Yes.
house. How do Phineas and Ferb never dig up any of these tunnels?
It's crazy.
They never dig, I guess, do they?
They probably do.
They do some digging for sure, but it is crazy because it's like the one that they find in the movie is just behind a painting.
Yeah.
So if you're ever moving this painting, you will see a tube that goes down to Perry's
Yeah.
lair.
Crazy. So they end him in his lair, and it says like, welcome, Phineas and Ferb. Please insert the key. And they see that it's the locket. So they put the locket in, and it's like, this is a top secret message just for you guys. Perry needs your help. Like, the Tri-City is in danger. And they're like, how does he know that we'll know what to do? And the message is like, he knows that you'll know what to do because you invented all of these. And then, like, a laser manifests all of their inventions. So Perry has been, like, keeping tabs on what they've been doing and, like, keeping all of their inventions stored away.
Which flashes back basically to the line that they were saying earlier about Perry never gets to see any of the cool stuff we do.
Yeah.
But he
But
does.
it's also just very much the show being like, yeah, remember all these episodes? All of this stuff that we've done before? Yeah, we're pretty cool, aren't we?
There was a lot of like episode callback slop where they're adding in
Yeah.
stuff that really doesn't do anything in the movie, but they're like, remember we did this thing.
Yeah, it's
The one I was thinking to myself, like, they have the painting a continent and the robot dog, which I don't think are in episodes,
oh, that's just
but
the
they're
theme
both
song?
in here. I think
Yeah.
they're just in the theme song.
That makes sense. Yeah, it you can just tell that like they probably did think this is the only movie we're gonna get. Like
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna just
We're gonna
pull
do
back the
everything.
whole show, make this whole grandiose like final climax scene with all of the old episode gadgets. Like it's pretty cool. Evil Doofenshmirtz continues to take over the city, and the secret animal agents, like all of them, come out to fight, which is fun. Like you have as well as Dog,
Mhm.
Pinky, and Peter the Panda,
Yeah.
and all
No
the
Perry the Potted Plant, though.
no.
No. So
Um,
sad.
and they like are fighting, but then they kind of like get beaten until Perry comes in and kicks some ass, but then he gets grabbed. Then all of a sudden a baseball starts like fucking with the robot, and we see like, oh, it's Phineas's invention. And he's there, and they bring in all of the inventions to fight the giant dog, the like robot bulls from when they
Mhm.
were riding the bulls. Um,
It's all the stuff, but mainly just early season 1 stuff.
they have
Yes.
the big tree houses from when they like had that fight. They had the like superhero costume, the like bird one, the monster truck, even the roller coaster.
You know,
Yeah, the roller
they
coaster's just building itself.
They always have to bring the roller coaster up because they know, hey, like anyone that's seen Phineas and Ferb content has seen the roller coaster episode.
Yes.
It's the
So
first
we always have to,
episode.
and it's also one of the most watched things in cable TV history because it was right after High School Musical 2.
Yeah,
That's why the show got as big as it did.
thank God.
Like the reason this DCOM exists in a lot of ways is because of the success of a different DCOM.
Yeah.
So they got to bring up the roller coaster.
Yeah. So Phineas and Perry hug. And he's like, I guess you trusted us after all. Also the Phineas and Ferb bots come out. I remember that being a big thing, the Phineas and Ferb bots.
Yes.
The
Yeah, they
Phineas
have
and
an
Ferb
episode
bots.
where they like clone themselves pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're there too. There's just so many references. And then they do just a big fighting montage while Love Handle sings Robot Riot.
It's fine.
I didn't really
Well,
write anything about it.
It's another one that's just like most of the songs are just like fine, they exist because it's a
Mhm.
Phineas and Ferb thing, so they kind of feel like they have to put them in. But
Yeah.
only that one at the very start. where
Only
they're singing
everything's
about
better
Perry.
as Perry is like
That's the only one that stuck to me.
Yeah, same.
the like Phineas and Ferb has good music, but it also has filler music because it's trying to hit that every episode has a song.
Yeah, and
Budget.
Yeah.
not every episode has like a great memorable song. Most of the time I'm like, yeah, that was the song.
And like I think this movie, the dialogue and the jokes and the overall plot structure are better than your average Phineas and Ferb episode, which
agree.
is good,
Yeah.
but the music on average is worse.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how Phineas and Ferb is. They're just high volume shooters. They'll have
Yeah.
like a song an episode, and some of them hit, but they don't really have many terrible ones where you'll
Right.
remember the bad ones. It's just like a song existed, I don't remember it, or I remember this one, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
It's a volume game, as you mentioned.
Phineas and Perry go up to like the Doofenshmirtz Tower to try and close the portal, but Cyborg Perry is there to fight them. So the two Perrys are fighting. As Phineas like is kind of climbing up to get to the portal, but then Evil Doof cuts the line, and Phineas lands on the couch, and so he goes up to him and he shoves the pee cushion in Doof's face, which is like so gross.
It was
so
such a
wet.
funny callback to it. It's like it shows you that this is all happening so fast because
Yeah.
the couch is still wet.
It's
when
wet.
Perry
To
peed on
me,
it.
the craziest thing about this is in a couple of scenes from now, we're gonna see the parents at the movies that they were at the beginning of the.
So it happens within like 2 hours.
Yeah,
The
the
whole
entire
plot,
the entire plot is within 2 hours.
which makes no sense.
It's like kind of going real time.
Candace tells Stacy, like, maybe I'm not a grown up after all. I can't even get my mom to see what my brothers are doing. Wait, that's it. I'll go get her. Because she thinks if I go get my mom, everything will disappear.
Yeah, that's how the mysterious force works.
Yeah. Also, super quick, our Doofenshmirtz still isn't buzzed into his apartment. He's still trying.
struggling with it.
Yeah, because this is where he calls a different neighbor and is like, I gave you sugar this morning. And she's like, no, I don't have any sugar anymore.
So funny. Candace goes to the movies and her parents are watching a 3D movie and a robot comes through the screen and they're like, whoa, this 3D movie's awesome. And she's just trying to convince her mom to come out and look at everything. So Phineas and evil Doofenshmirtz are like fighting. Phineas like sees up the thing that's controlling all the robots is this like satellite dish. So he's like, if I just take that out, then all the robots will be dormant. But evil Doof, like, there's the baseball that is remote controlled, like he gets to it first. So then the Perrys are fighting again more, and Cyborg Perry gets like a chicken stuck to his tail. It's from the buffet table. And our Perry just kind of laughs at him.
It's like a one-time Perry ever breaks character, basically. It's just like, that's stupid.
It's so on brand with Phineas and Ferb, where like this stupid detail that like you're like, oh, this is just a throwaway thing that happens at the start. Like everything always comes back.
Yeah.
Like that buffet from the beginning, it's like it matters.
It matters
for a reason.
Yeah, because what ends up happening is like it's stuck on him and Perry like tickles him so that his tail flips and then the chicken like knocks him out, kind of.
Yeah, it like covers his face and then he gets knocked into like an electrical outlet.
And then he gets fried up because he's a cyborg.
Starts popping popcorn.
That was my favorite part. Is like he picks
Perry eats one of the popcorns that fly at him.
That's funny. And then Perry hits over a bat to Phineas so that he can hit the baseball because that makes sense.
Throws it over.
And then he home run hits it right into the satellite, and all the robots are shut off and they fall from the sky.
I'm mentioning this mainly because I have a Phineas and Ferb expert to help say this. I noticed that Phineas swung at the bat lefty. Is Phineas left-handed?
I had never thought of this before.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm on his wiki now.
I am too.
Phineas seems to be naturally left-handed, as he's been seen to prefer using his left hand on many occasions. According to the Phineas and Ferb Across Second Dimension video game, he's left-handed. In the TV movie, he's seen playing on the left-handed drum set, and he bats left-handed. He also received a left-handed flang tuner tool from Candace for her birthday. But as you can also use... Oh, wait. It says, but as he can also use his right hand to write and play instruments, he appears to be ambidextrous and can play both in right-handed and left-handed guitar. Phineas being left-handed is likely a reference to Dan Povenmire, who is also left-handed.
That makes complete sense. It's like, to me, I don't think they were tracking, is Phineas left or right-handed?
They're probably thinking storyboard what looks the best.
And they can flip it if he's holding like a guitar or something to make it look better. And just be like, he's left-handed.
Have you seen the cursed images of Phineas like from the
It's funny. Okay, so Candace is begging Mom to go outside still. Ferb, who's been like scaling the building, finally makes it to the roof. Evil Doofenshmirtz emerges in a giant doof robot. He says, I have one last trick up my sleeve, and he's in the sleeve of the robot.
It's me, I'm the trick.
Which has to be one of the worst spots that you could put yourself.
Yeah.
If that robot ever moves, like, you are going way too fast.
The G-forces you're going to face are bad.
But before he can hit the boys and Perry, our Dimension Doofenshmirtz shows up. And he pulls out the little toy train because he's like, yeah, see, I told you I never lost it, so I still have it. And
this solves everything.
It's Choo Choo. He's like, you can have it. And Evil Doofenshmirtz is like, oh my gosh, it's Choo Choo. I have it back. I don't even want to be evil anymore now that I have my train back. So he self-destructs the robots, which he has the self-destruct button for, of course. And they all self-destruct right as Mom comes out of the movie theater. They're all gone. And Candace is like, yes, I did it. They're all gone. You can go back to your movie. It's like, honestly though, I do feel like Candace saved the day because
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it has to
it
disappear.
has to disappear.
The mom
Plot.
can't
She knows
see
the
it.
plot works.
Yeah. I kind of give her a lot of credit for getting the mom to come out.
Well, I also love how difficult it is for her to get the mom to come out because,
Yeah.
like, the mom's like, "I've seen this shit so many, like, hundreds of times. You have called me to
She
see."
said this is
Nana."
just the part where the fiance is going to express her feelings and
Yeah.
make everything come. It's a
Yeah, she's like,
stupid
I'm watching a
rom-com.
movie right now. They're watching like a rom-com in 3D.
Yeah.
They're the only ones in the theater too.
So yeah, Evil Doofenshmirtz goes back to his dimension. He's like, I'm gonna live out my life with my choo-choo. And then as soon as they open the portal, he gets arrested. He's like, oh yeah, all of my crimes against humanity.
Forgot about those.
Yeah.
Well, I also love, like, he's not evil for, like, any reason, really. It's just, like, he lost his train and
Yeah.
he just ended up being evil, and he gets his train back and he's like, I guess I didn't need to be evil. I found the train now.
That's the one thing. Because he asked Arthur, which was like, well, how did you feel when you lost a train?
Yeah.
Like, maybe, like, that devastated you. You'd be more evil if you lost that train. But Arthur was just like, you can keep it.
Just doesn't care at all. No attachment.
Yeah. So then our Candace says goodbye to 2D Candace and suggests like now that you're not leading the resistance anymore, you should like hang out with Jeremy or whatever, have fun being young. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna like be young. 2D Phineas and Ferb thank our Phineas and Ferb, and then they see their Perry, like Cyborg Perry. He's not evil anymore because he all
He's still a cyborg, though.
yeah, and they're like, sorry, he's like a cyborg now, and they're like, that's cooler, like,
Yeah.
it's awesome. So they thank him and head back to their dimension.
And that's the end of the second dimension side
Yep.
Yep.
we ever see, really.
Yep. Phineas is like, this was the best day ever. Now we can have so much fun now that we know that you're a secret agent, Perry. But Major Monogram is just there now.
Yeah.
He shows up with Carl. And they're like, yeah, what a fun 15 minutes that'll be, because, like, Agent P is going to be sent away forever. And they're like, what? What do you mean? He's like, you didn't know that he'd have to leave?
We gave you a pamphlet.
Didn't you read the pamphlet? It's like, oh, no. Oh,
Threw that away.
yeah.
It's like, why does no one ever read those things?
He says, and Phineas is like, that's why you didn't want us to know. Like, there must be another way for you to stay with us. And Carl suggests that they use the Amnesianator that Doof built. And Doof's like, I never built that. I remember
So
doing that. Which, like, this is why they say that they have all of his inventions.
Also to make it explain how they were able to recreate all of Phineas and Ferb's inventions so quickly.
I guess. Okay, I guess that makes enough
Again,
sense.
going back to the budget, like, I don't know how it works, but they have so much money.
Yeah.
Raw materials are free in this universe.
Yeah, Phineas says, either we forget that this whole amazing day happened, but, and keep Perry, or wait.
Yeah.
No, it's either remember that this whole amazing day happened or forget it, but like, oh no, I keep messing it up. Either forget this whole amazing day happened or remember, but we lose Perry. That's what it is. And they're like, I think Ferb says like, we have amazing days all the time, but we only have one Perry. So we gotta keep him even if we forget today happened. So Phineas and Ferb go to like say goodbye to Perry as Agent P. Like, obviously they'll still know him, but they're like, goodbye, like, you are now and always have been, like, a great friend and a great pet, like, really, like, they all forgive each other and everything, and so they're all standing there to get their memories wiped, and Isabella's like, wait, so none of us are gonna remember today after that happens? And, like, yep, and so she kisses Phineas right before they get their memories wiped, and Phineas is like, whoa, Isabella, and it's like, alright, memories wiped, and he goes, no way! Because he likes her. Like,
Yeah,
bummer.
Phineas is so oblivious during the entire TV show,
Yeah.
like,
Until
about Isabella.
Until she just kisses him and
Yeah.
he's like, oh my gosh. Wait, no. So in our conclusion, Harry goes back down to his lair and he grabs a little camera that he has and he uploads all the photos. Like, apparently they've just been taking cute selfies of
The whole time.
So at least Perry gets to remember everything.
Yeah, it's really sweet that he just, like, he wants to remember the one day that they knew that he was an agent and they were, like, just taking selfies.
I do love that they had the time to take those selfies.
Yeah.
So
Some of them are, like,
being
literally-
serious.
They're all, like, One of them is when they're falling down the building to their death,
Uh-huh.
and they're like,
And they're like fighting the
Posing.
robots and they're just posing the
They're
whole
posing great. They're all phenomenal poses.
So like canonically Phineas was so mad at him, they're just like posing for themselves. It's so funny.
nothing some good Photoshop can't fix.
Yeah. So that's the end of the movie. And in the credits we have Slash here, guitar player slash animated, singing another song called Kick It Up a Notch.
Again, fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's the credit song. It's cool that it's Slash, I guess. But yeah, that is Phineas and Ferb the movie across the second dimension. Thoughts?
It's a good movie. Again,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like a decom at all. It doesn't like all the TV show ones always feel a little different because they're based on a different franchise. We don't have any of the exposition. There's very little exposition in this movie
Oh, you don't need it.
because
Yeah.
it's like all the show ones. You're supposed to get it. And sometimes when we're watching these, we don't know the show,
Mhm.
and that can always have an impact. But there's still like a range of quality in this one. I think this is the best show-based decom by a fair bit because it really, more than any of the other ones, feels just like a really good episode of the show.
Yeah.
Does. Phineas and Ferb is just such a solid show, and it's something that I've just grown to appreciate more in these recent years of like watching decoms. And we watched this movie, and BenG specifically was like kind of trying to watch Phineas and Ferb through again, especially to prep for this movie. And I definitely watched the show as a kid, and I liked it, but now like as an adult, just realizing like it wasn't just a dumb show I watched as a kid. Like it actually is genuinely so funny.
It's really well written.
It's so well written. Like the jokes still are so good. Like it doesn't matter what age you are. If you're like invested in the show and the premise and the format, then it's like they do such a great job. And it's so great that it came back.
Yeah. And it's cool that it's a show that can just come back.
Yeah, like the self-resetting nature of every episode is great because even if an episode flops, it doesn't impact anything. It's just
Nothing.
like time for
Yeah.
a new episode.
It's like a lot of shows would feel more constrained by this formula, but they keep finding new ways to do interesting stuff within the. You have to always end at the same spot you began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like one of the things that I respect the most is like they stopped making Phineas and Ferb because they said, we ran out of ideas. We don't want to, push us another season or anything. And then a few years later, they were like, "Okay, we've got enough ideas now. Like, let's make another movie. Let's
Yeah,
do
they
some
made
more
a
shows."
movie. Yeah.
It's really nice that they didn't like go out on like a whimper. They were like, the show's still great. Let's stop. And if we have enough ideas, maybe we'll come back and do something again.
Yeah, it's crazy how good the new season is.
It really
It's
is.
so good.
It's quite good.
It's
For-
not even a noticeable step down in quality. It
No.
feels a little different, but that's because a lot of it's been like years.
Animation improved in 10 years,
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're saying too, it's like it's a new summer,
Mhm.
so like things are just gonna feel a little different. It feels fresh. Like
some of
it's-
the acting has changed a little bit.
Yeah,
There's
it's-
differences everywhere sprinkled throughout, but it feels at its heart by far the same show.
Absolutely.
It's just so nice because it's so nice that they had that break because now it does feel like they just really came in with fresh new ideas instead of burning out. I feel like it did kind of feel like they were burning out.
Yeah.
Towards the end of Phineas and Ferb, so
They're doing so many crossover stuff
Yeah.
and just using the Disney budget.
They have a crazy number of crossover episodes and
Yeah.
like half movies throughout. It's crazy.
yeah. So
It's cool
very
that this
high-
movie was very much contained to its own universe. Like, I know it's literally multiple dimensions,
Yeah.
but it's very much this show. You
Yeah.
know? This is a plot that if they wanted to, they could have done it as a 22-minute thing.
Yeah. So this movie ranked number 10 in our final Jank House ranking. Obviously,
That's
very
pretty good.
high. It was always like we had a column system where like a column is kind of like a tier, except
Okay.
but not like actually
Labeled in that way.
labeled tiers of just kind of like vibing of like these movies all belong
There's
together.
a bigger gap between these.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So our top tier was always we just kind of decided to keep it top 10 of
Okay.
like these are our top 10. So we always just wanted to keep Phineas and Ferb top 10 no matter what, just because it's so good. So we had it 10. Benji and I both ranked it higher in our own rankings. Benji even at 5,
It's a really
Five.
good top.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
and I have it at 7.
Like, again, the only negatives I say really about this movie are the music is passable. If the music was great, it would be great. In terms of like genuine enjoyment versus ironic enjoyment, this is very high up for me.
Very high.
Like, I'm looking at my top 5 in here, and like, there's movies that I consider more good than bad, but I still get ironic enjoyment as part of, like, Teen Beach Movie and Christmas Again, which are in my top 5.
Yeah, I'm looking at my list, and I think I definitely would still keep it like top 10 just because it's so good. But I think I would move it more just like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Just because I see like I have it right above like Lemonade Mouth, and I love Lemonade Mouth, and I really love this movie. But like, yeah,
It
It's
doesn't. It
soundtrack.
doesn't.
if the music was better, and if like I cared more about like kind of the climax, because that didn't really hit as well for me either. I feel like what I love most is like the core of the movie, and
The
then
moment to moment dialogue so good in this
yeah, and
movie.
then finding out about Perry and like and just that relationship, like that's what's best, not the giant robot fight.
I
So
agree. Yeah.
so that would knock it down just a couple spots, but like it's still gonna be
It's going to be in
top
our
10.
S tier
S
at the end
tier.
of the day. I'm
Yeah.
pretty confident.
It's gonna be very high, no matter
Excellent.
what.
Excellent.
Yeah, very good.
Where does it rank for you?
Seeing as I have not watched many DCOMs, this is definitely a top 5, probably a top 2. I can't think of
Maybe
anything else
just
that
number
would
one.
compete, so it might be a number 1. As of now, I would confidently put it at my number 1.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you know of any others you like? Have you seen High School Musical?
I've seen the High School Musicals.
Okay.
They don't hit the same
Yeah,
as
that's
Phineas and Ferb. I think it's because I've watched... I didn't watch the High School Musicals until college.
Right.
I hadn't seen them before. And so I don't get the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb. I think like even if the movie it's not like a top tier movie itself, but to me it's the fact that all of the characters, like I love all the characters.
Yeah.
It's those small little dialogue things that you can't build if it's a standalone movie. Like you
Mhm.
can't build those character interactions,
Mhm.
but having it be like a continuation of a show.
As a show movie, it really
It's so
excels
good.
as a show movie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's something where if we didn't know Phineas and Ferb going in, I'm not sure how great this
Yeah,
would
I
have
think
been.
I'd still like it, but
I'm
we
wondering if
wouldn't.
I wonder if our reaction would be similar to like what it was for Big City Greens, where like this feels like quality. I feel like the show is quality, but
Yeah.
like I'm way less invested in the whole plot.
No, that's a great comparison because when we watched Big City Greens, the movie, we thought it was funny and we thought it was good. We just
Okay.
like weren't invested in the characters or
Yeah.
anything because we haven't watched it. So I feel like we would feel similar about this movie if we didn't watch Phineas and Ferb. We'd be
Mhm.
like, some of those lines are so funny, like the premise is good
Mhm.
and it was enjoyable, but I just don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and like Buford show, like Buford doesn't do like
Yeah.
He does
anything.
very little in this movie, for instance. Yeah,
But it's like they put him in there because Buford has to be there.
he has
Like,
to be there.
if
Same
he-
with Baljeet. Baljeet's barely in the film.
Yeah,
And you wouldn't get like what is happening with Candace and this mysterious force and
Yeah.
like what if you don't know the format, then you're like, what?
yeah, like
What's
the
happening?
self reset, like it'd be so weird. Like the mom can magically, turn all these
Yeah.
robots away. Like, yeah,
And who's this evil scientist? And he fights the platypus. Like, yeah, actually, it would actually be pretty confusing.
It'd be
if you
so
did it
weird.
It
now.
would be so weird, but that's why like this project is a different thing
Yeah,
than what the intended audience of this, because there's basically no one in the intended audience for Phineas and Ferb the movie that doesn't at least know the premise of the show.
yeah. I agree. I would be surprised if someone saw the Phineas and Ferb movie without seeing like an episode or two.
All right.
cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us
Yeah.
on the podcast, Tate.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
last thoughts you want to share? Just random call outs? You want
Yeah.
to promote anything?
I want to promote people watching Phineas and Ferb, the TV show,
Yeah.
and this Across the Second Dimension movie, along with Candace Against the Universe, the other
Mhm.
Phineas and Ferb movie.
And the
Yeah.
third one coming out later this year.
I'm so excited.
I
for
heard
that.
the plot is going to be that the mom and dad, like Linda and Fletcher, never met. It's a time travel thing. So
Mm.
Phineas and Ferb never become brothers.
There is the fan theory that Duke
Duke.
Schmertz is actually
Yeah,
variant.
which they have just said like no, that's not true.
Maybe we will learn who Phineas's father is.
That would
Yeah.
be
That'd be
really
crazy.
interesting.
If that's a decom, we'll be covering it. So
We will, but if it's not a decom, we won't.
Yeah,
But
you'd
can't
be
do it.
welcome to come be on that with us
Yeah.
if you'd like.
if it's a decom, we'll definitely call you back.
I do love that, there is, like, it's so inconsistent, the branding of, like, what ends up being a decom, like,
Yeah.
beforehand.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised either way in this one.
I feel like now that they are like it was so weird for a little bit kind of during the pandemic of what is and what isn't. Like Candace Against the Universe definitely was not.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised now that they're like, okay, we're back to being Disney Channel original movies. Like Zombies 4 was labeled as a Disney Channel original movie, that they're like, so is Phineas and Ferb. They're airing the episodes on Disney Channel, the new episodes.
Yeah.
Like they did some of them on Disney Plus and then some of them on Disney Channel. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, yeah, this is a DCOM.
Well, it's like even with the new episode releases, it's like it was some Disney Channel, some Disney Plus. It's like it
Yeah.
could go either
It
way.
could-
And really,
go
the
either
line
way.
is blurred, and it only matters to people making a podcast about every Disney Channel
Yeah.
original movie. I understand they don't need this is not an answer that's pressing to them.
But it is critical to the people who do have a podcast only about Disney Channel original movies.
Yes. Absolutely. Cool. So if you have any thoughts and want to email us about them, about Phineas and Ferb or anything, email us at thedcomduo@gmail.com.
Our next episode is actually our mini-sode
Oh, yes.
coming about this. We'll be ranking the last 10
Mhm.
films 81 through 90 that we covered.
Yes. So tune in 1 week.
We'll
for
also do
mini-sode.
something else for that. I don't think we've established exactly if it's like fanfic or drafts or whatever.
Fanfic might be fun because then we could get some Phineas and Ferb fanfic
Hey yo.
in there. But yeah, we'll figure out. We'll do something fun for our mini-sode. In 2 weeks is our next regular episode, and once again, we are pretty sure we have our friend coming over to do.
We have a time set up for it. I
Yeah,
feel
so
like we can lock that in.
so we'll just say right now, our next episode is probably going to be Freaky Friday, and not not the one you might be thinking of.
Not the Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis. No, this is the 2018
ish
musical
Freaky
Freaky
Friday.
Friday Disney Channel
yeah.
original movie.
It trips people up, but just know we're not talking about Lindsay Lohan. We already did that one.
Yeah,
She's
that was
only
get a
one
clue.
people.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, this is Freaky Friday, but not how you remember. So we have a friend coming for that. But what we will do now is spin the wheel for a backup movie in case something happens and that falls through. So any predictions of what our
If
backup
you get this
movie
bet
is?
right, you get $1 from each of us. That's
Can I
but
see
you
the
have
wheel?
to.
Yeah.
You don't know the movies as well. That's totally helpful.
And he's
And there's a lot less now. It's way easier too. It'd be really funny if we spun Freaky
it would
Friday.
be really fun.
You're gonna get twitches.
Oh, nice. I think it's what you predicted last
I
week.
think that is what I predicted last week.
Or last episode.
I'm gonna predict Luck of the Irish.
Oh, for St. Patrick's Day. That would be topical. I'm gonna predict Zombies 2. All right, let's spin the wheel for our backup. All right, our backup is Christmas Again, which is like a fun one.
I do really like Christmas Again.
Christmas
I
time.
really liked it the one time I watched it. I
Yeah.
feel like it's not going to hold up as well as I remember it, but it was
Maybe
good.
it will. So, expect us to do Freaky Friday, if not Christmas Again. 1 week is our mini-sode, and in 2 weeks is our next episode. Cool.
All right. See y'all later.
Goodbye. Scenes from our next episode. Where's Lindsay Lohan?
Where's Jamie Lee Curtis?
This isn't the Freaky Friday, I know.
Oh no, I've turned into my mom and now I gotta marry my new stepdad? Oh no.
It's a musical.
Oh, biology.
Oh my. Oh.
Why am I a grown woman in this teenage body that wants to kiss this teenager?
This teenage boy. It's kind of weird.
But it's also, yeah, it's weird.
Parents lie.
Parents lie, I'm your mom and I'm telling you this and then you're gonna run away.
And we have a dog.
Hey, you wanna do this like super cool scavenger app? Like scavenger hunt app that's just making you run and like explore the world, but actually all the parents hate this because it's making kids loiter.
Go, go, go.
Go and watch it. Arugula. I love, yeah.
Arugula.
We have jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you want to add, Tate?
This sounds like such a bizarre movie. I just pulled it up, and I am so excited to give this a watch.
Shockingly, pretty decent.
I actually really like it.
People online hate it
They just,
because they didn't realize what it was,
yeah.
and it's based on the stage version of the musical.
Yeah. They're just like, it's not Lindsay Lohan. And we're like, yeah, It was never gonna be that. Watch Freaker Friday now if you want that.
I will be watching this. This sounds
Yay!
crazy.
I like it. I like musicals. So
Do we want to do the backup for Christmas again, or just do
backup.
what we did last time?
Backup. We didn't watch Freaky Friday.
Plans change. Sorry, y'all. I guess it's Christmas again.
I guess it's Christmas again.
For St. Patrick's Day.
That's right.